sadist gets a.
This is what it's like hurting streamers.
Yeah. Oh, there's Paul. There's the guy right there. He's getting all set up this little green screen.
Let's see if I can unmute myself and.
You have failed us for the last time.
Alrighty, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Soul Citizens. That was the fastest of me dropping cameras in within 3 minutes I think I've ever done. So, welcome everybody happy to see you guys again. I'm GriffinGamingRPG, and today we have a really, really special show. We've really been looking forward to this show for quite some time. As you guys know, the name of today's show is The Early Mentors, and that's what the show is about. It's about the people that influenced many of us who are a part of the Soul Citizens, and not just us, but probably a lot of you guys out there. And so we're just really excited. I personally, I've watched all these people at some point over when I first was getting interested in Star Citizen, when I was first starting to learn about Star Citizen. And of course, I've tried to keep up with them over the years. And so we're going to have some Q&A with them. We're going to have some fun with them. But even more, I know that they're going to share really, really great information with you guys about what it was like in the quote unquote early days of the Star Citizen development. And I think there'll be a lot that we're going to learn from this. So we are waiting on SaltEMike. You guys see he has a blank there. He may pop in. He had something pop up. Hopefully we'll get to see him. But if not, we've got more than enough of great talent here that'll be able to share with you guys tonight. So let me start out with a couple things first. I want to introduce my co-host, which is the man himself, the ambassador of Star Citizen, fastcart FC. fastcart, how you doing?
Hello, everyone. I just want to let Griffin know you're not streaming in Discord yet, so we're not seeing you in live in real time.
Oh,
but,
really?
Other than that, hi. I'm fastcart, also known as SC. I used to be a moderator everywhere. Back in the olden time, I was a moderator everywhere. You couldn't swing a stick and not see me. But now I'm just, podcaster, I guess. So I'm still everywhere, but just as a podcaster these days. So it's good to be here. Good to see you folks. And just like he said, I watch everyone here when I first started, and it's good to have you back.
Absolutely. You guys should be able to see us in Discord now in real time. I'm sorry, I had to change the screens when I was loading people. That's why we lost it. And then we have another special guest here today. And this is someone who I stumbled across. I guess, Paul, I get to blame you for this. I've been finding most of my talent recently on Paul's show. Whenever I look for guests, I steal them from him. And so we have DoggDemon. DoggDemon, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Those of you all who know DoggDemon, he is a very energetic guy. DoggDemon, tell the audience or our viewers a little bit about who you are and where they can find you.
Gotcha. So you can find me on twitch.tv/ as you do the HTTP, DoggDemon. I'm an aspiring voice actor, and I just have a passion for flight and sci-fi. So Star Citizen was the thing I just naturally gravitated towards.
Okay, awesome. Well, we're happy to have you, man. I know we've been talking over the last few weeks, and it's finally here. So
I'm excited.
Okay. Now, one thing,
well, as excited as I am with Astropub too.
Okay.
I go to his shows.
Awesome. One of the things I want to share with you guys before we introduce our special guests today, we lost Geo. Where did Geo go? Oh, there he is. Okay.
He's back.
I know I saw him. Well, before we introduce our guest today, I want to kind of give you the background on DoggDemon, fastcart, and myself. We may be asking some questions of them because we are kind of like the ones that are kind of admiring these people that are surrounding us today. But they do have some questions ahead of time that we're going to ask all of them so that you guys can get a little bit of information about them, especially if you don't know who they are. So I'm going to start in the far left corner and introduce someone who's been here before. And actually, this is like your second or third time with us, right, MzHartz? Second time? You were here for the diverse show, the ladies show, I think, right?
It's at least second. Yeah, I think it's just
something
second.
like that. Okay, yeah, okay. Well, we have MzHartz. MzHartz, welcome.
Aloha.
And next to her, we have the man himself, Paul Shelley of the Astropub.
And this is his second time also.
Paul's third time. He is ranking as third highest, and I think he has the highest guest re-invites. So so we've got Paul back. There's a blank spot next to there for SaltEMike. We'll come back to him. And then we want to go to the man who, this is the guy, he doesn't know this, but he mentored me. Is Stoutman. How are you, Stoutman?
I'm doing good.
Good.
It's been a while since I've done anything like this.
Well, we're happy to have you. We are happy to have you. And last but not least, the man himself who has a new branded name, which we'll have to figure out about later. This is this is your third name, isn't it? At this
Third
point,
name.
This is right. Yeah, this is your third name now. So
maybe
we're trying to keep track.
We're trying was a typo, but now I got it right now.
Okay.
All right. I mean, no, actually, no, but it's his fourth name.
Is it his fourth?
Oh my goodness.
Geo Good Money TV. Now Subvegio.
I thought it was gonna be Geo now. That's
all right.
Sure, y'all gonna call me Geo.
Your mama name is Geo. I'm gonna call you Geo.
All right. So we all know you by Geo, no matter what. But how do you pronounce it now? How is it the new name pronounced?
Now it's Subvegio.
Subvegio. All right. Subvegio. All right.
Yeah.
Subvegio. All right. But we're going to do a little throwback to some early names or some side names that you guys had in the past, if that's okay. So
yeah, I'm with it.
You're with it? Okay. All right, cool. All right. So we want to kick off the show with a video. One of the things they tell you about the internet is don't put anything on the internet because it stays with you for life. So we're about to embarrass everybody who's here as a guest today because we found some interesting video that we're going to open up with.
I stand by all of it.
You stand by all yours?
Every single one.
Every video you've been in is okay?
Yes.
I'm nervous because there's a lot of situations I've been in. Oh no.
Yeah, same.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, let's open up with this first video, and then we're gonna after that we'll kind of get into talking about some of the stuff that's on our docket. So here we go. Let's take a look at this very first video. Hopefully everything will work here.
See, we got it going. All right, are we checking in? Tap 33. My man's Moonshiner. Stoutman, what's up, brother? Oh, yeah. You guys gotta check these glorious streamers out. These guys are awesome. That's gaming in this motherfucker. Sniffle Wizard, D-Man. This guy's awesome. Let me show you what he just gave me right now. Hold on. What I do with it? Oh, here it is. Aegis, baby, in his green for the Geo Get Money. There you go. Yeah. Look at that. Drake. You got the Drake. What'd you get?
Anvil.
We got a little bit of everything. He's got like a magical bag right now. Sniffle Wizard is really magical, let me tell you. Hey, it's fucking beautiful out here right now. Woo-woo! Nash, what's up, brother? What's up, dude? We're chilling outside right now because there's way too many people inside right now. So we're just out here chilling. Maybe it'll die down. Oh, let's go check on Newfire and the rest of these guys. New. What's up, bro? This guy right here. For the dark times. I like the selfie. You like my stick? Microphone. Yeah. Everyone likes my mic and my stick. You know. What can I say? And then this guy right here, Mr. Not So Sober right here.
I am very sober.
That's the problem. What's up, bro? What y'all doing? Mrs. Grace. What's going on? What's going on, brother?
Waiting to get inside to get a beer.
Yeah.
I could really get in.
We're out here waiting right now. So we're out here Thursday. It's bar season, but we're out here chilling. The wait is definitely real. Where did Twerkles and Source go? Oh, shit. Well, there you go. Right yourself. These glorious fucking streamers right here.
I've never used a selfie stick before.
It's
got a fucking...
Oh, you
got a little mic. That is a fancy mic.
Yeah,
you're fancy, huh?
I'm a fancy fucker.
You are a fancy motherfucker.
You guys gotta make sure you check these fuckers out, you hear me? These guys are glorious fucking streamers. You understand me? Do you understand me? Hey, say hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
What's going on? We out here chilling right now, guys. It's fucking awesome. Grocky's with the voice acting guy right here. With the glorious fucking voice.
Yep, me.
Right there. You need voice work? You gotta hit this guy right here. You know?
Ladies and gentlemen, tactical advance here.
There you go. Maybe. Eventually, huh?
You can have the notes are off.
Oh, look at that. What kind of car is that over there?
Oh, Lord.
I don't know what the fuck that is. Special edition, baby? Hey guys, so we're just out here chilling right now. I'm gonna try to get some more footage of us inside, but I don't know how that's gonna work out. We shall see. I'm not gonna nerd out, but I'm gonna act real fucking normal. I don't want to creep them out, so.
Grab him with the Banu merchant.
Okay.
Viciously.
So, that brings back some memories. Geo, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about where we were when that, because I was there too. That was my first year going to a con. So give them some background to what was up with that video. Yeah, you were there too. Everybody was there.
Yeah, so we were in LA. I believe that was 2016, if
Mhm.
I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And for a lot of us, that was our first CitizenCon. I know that was mine. Was it you guys' first CitizenCon?
It was my
Yeah,
first one.
there's is gone.
Yep.
So
Right.
I've never gone to one yet.
Everyone lost their sitcom virginity almost around that year, and it was an epic show. I will say that. And I was like the place we were at. The venue was right next to this real nice ass hotel. Surprisingly, it wasn't that many citizens next to that hotel. 'Cause it was an expensive one.
It was an expensive hotel. That's why.
It was, and yeah, Christ Roberts had one of the nice ass rooms. I can tell you that. he was balling in that, but yeah, it was a good time. And then I think the bar was almost close to the
It was literally like on the
well.
corner. It was like on the corner. It was
Yeah.
at Hollywood and Vine, and the venue
was
was
so
right down the
perfect.
street. Yep.
Yeah, so we
Yeah,
could
it's half a
all
block
just,
away.
Yeah. Yeah.
it was beautiful. I think I like that setup better than what we had in Austin because everything was so close and convenient. But that was just me, because my room was like right there, so I literally had to use no Uber.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, one of the reasons why I showed that video is that you got to see several of the people who are on our panel today, but there are also a lot of people who are still in the community today that were at that particular CitizenCon. That was a very exciting CitizenCon. It was also one of the most disappointing CitizenCons, but we still had a lot of fun. For those
What
of you
year
who
was that
remember, that was 2016.
2016.
We were in Los
Where
Angeles.
are our sandworms?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes.
sandworm.
Yes,
It was
yes.
the sandworm.
That was the sandworm year. That was the sandworm year. And that was the year when everyone was anticipating the vertical slice and it didn't happen. And there was a little bit of heartbreak in the room, but we had a great time hanging out with each other while we were there. Let me kick off real quick. Gio, I'm going to start with you. As we mentioned earlier, you've had all these other aliases over the years. What year did you come into? Well, let me first. How did you learn about Star Citizen? How did you get introduced into it?
Oh, it's funny. The reason why I found out about Star Citizen because I guess people, the fans of Star Citizen, were in the comments trolling No Man's Sky. They said the game sucks ass and it done got shit on Star Citizen. And I've seen it before in the comments on other games. I'm like, all right, let me see what this is. I'm curious. At first, I thought it was like some type of strategy game or something. I don't know what I thought it was, but when I looked it up, I said, oh shit, they might be on to something. This is the real deal. So I was kind of following towards like the end of Wingman's Hangar. Was that probably 2013 or 2014? I forgot. I kind of caught the tail end of the ending of that. So I was watching from there, and then by my first package, I think until like March 2015, I even have a computer. I had like this little rinky-dink laptop. I couldn't test out any of the stuff. I just wanted to back the project because I'm like, this is unlike anything I've seen before, and this is like the Star Wars game I always wanted. So I officially backed in 2015, but found out about it in 2014. Just watching and watching.
Okay.
So
okay.
I didn't have a real computer until the end of 2015, which I'm still on that same old ass computer. So I was buying chips before I had a computer. That's how much I believed in this game.
Okay. And let me ask you this next question: who did you watch? Who was somebody that was streaming on Twitch or YouTube that you remember that you said you heard about it, but you had to have been watching something? Was there somebody that was a streamer or content creator that you remember saying, "Wow, this kind of caught your eye"? Deuce Maximus, thank you for the follow.
I remember looking up some videos. Who was the first person I seen? I remember officially going first to Star Citizen, right? And watching Wingman Hangar and stuff. And I think I ran to some gray-headed gamer videos. Who else? Board, definitely. Board was covering it real heavy around that time. And who else? I mean, it was like a couple. I think Tactical Advance.
Yeah.
And STL Youngblood. It was a very small community at the time on YouTube. When we were doing it, like it was like maybe 10 people at the time doing Star Citizen videos. So it wasn't that many out there that you could really watch.
Yeah, Geek Domo was somebody who I watched.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Domo actually invited me on. I didn't know who Domo was. He invited me on his show. When I made my troll video. Why that people thought I was trolling CIG, but really it was the other way around. They got circle jerked. So that's when Domo invited me on to start this podcast.
I have an admission to make. The Starcast. One of the reasons why Gio got into Starcast was because Domo came to me because I had more connections inside the Star Citizen community at the time than he did at that in terms of like new content. He was looking for people who did stuff, and I was like, just contact Domo or contact Geo. Geo has done all these videos. You should go talk with him. So. You're I'm sorry, and you're welcome. I don't know which one.
I never knew.
Yeah.
I never knew. I always thought it was Cliffy because Cliffy was like, man, finally someone shitting on these damn trolls. I say, oh yeah. I said, it's going to be a lot more of that too.
I think it was a combination of both of us because I think because like Domo was listening to Cliffy at that time and it was like, yeah. But then when I was backing him up, like, yeah, you don't. I know you don't follow the community as close as we do. You should get Geo. I was like, yeah. So.
Okay. Fun times. I used to love doing that podcast. I think we almost did that weekly. It was pretty fun.
So fun.
Some good times.
That's some good insider info.
Good time.
All right. Well, let's
you got me thinking. You got me singing cheek now. Good.
Oh time. God, don't sing. Yeah, please don't sing. Don't sing.
Don't sing so we can be distracted so you don't have to get to my video ever.
Okay, let's yeah, I'm going to ask fastcart if you would do the questions for MzHartz, but I want to show a video. Just the first two questions. We're just going to do the first two questions. DoggDemon, you be prepared to do Stoutman. I mean, do Paul Shelley's questions for me when it's time for his. Okay, just do the first two questions. But I want to show a video for MzHartz first. We're going to step over to her, and then maybe she can give some background. For those of you who don't know, MzHartz was one of the. She was the first woman that I saw that was out here talking about Star Citizen. There were others, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later, and she can give some insight. But let's take a quick look at the video with MzHartz. And this is one.
Intro time. They would ever do that. Well, who are you?
No, I'm not first.
Mr. Talkie
Talk.
Talk.
I wasn't saying like I said MzHartz.
Let's go left.
Welcome.
Left to right. Yeah, MzHartz.
What?
Not to put you on the spot or
Say
anything, but
hello.
who are you?
You know what we could do for you, MzHartz? We could do what we do to people that we don't know is, who the fuck are you and why do we care?
You don't care.
I care.
I used to be a streamer, but I haven't really been streaming lately.
Is that because of the cat?
Hey, fast
No,
Hasn't
not
changed.
No, just a lot of life getting in the way, making it hard to stream. But I am still in game. You can still find me in game, and soon you will find me on the base.
That's true.
All your beat are belong.
I don't know if I should plug that yet or not. We'll do that at the end.
That you're not streaming doesn't matter because we don't watch that many streams, but that you're coming on the base is good.
It's good enough. So, so if you take away anything from this stream, what you're going to take away is all your hearts. Or no, wait, I screwed that up. Just go.
Okay. Go ahead, FC. Go ahead, FC.
What's the most embarrassing one you could have found?
Well, no, I've got one. That one, yeah, that was probably the most embarrassing. So don't worry. But no, there's a reason why I picked that particular video, because there's a question I'm going to ask you after fastcart does these first couple questions. So go ahead, fastcart.
I didn't consider that video that long ago either.
No, that one wasn't. It wasn't that long ago. So go ahead, FC.
I think they're playing it safe because they definitely have a nuclear embarrassment for me that was on Twitch moment. Another streamer.
Yeah, I had a couple embarrassing moments. Yeah,
you guys are playing it safe.
Yeah, we're not. Yeah, we don't. We want you to come back, so we're not going to go too far off the rail. So go ahead, FC.
All right, so MzHartz, how did you learn of Star Citizen?
See, it's funny that fastcart is asking this because I think he's asked me this question or heard me answer this question at least a dozen times.
Half a dozen.
Okay, it's all Bear of Red's fault. Bear is my real life best friend, and back in I think it was 2014. I can never remember. He kept talking about it. I'd heard about Star Citizen, but I was just like, I don't want to put any money in a game that's not out yet. But he would not shut up about it. So I ended up being so curious that I started reading into it, and I read all the lore that was there at the time and totally got hooked. And like Geo, I backed when I still had a laptop and I couldn't play. But
believe.
But then with my tax return that year, I got a computer that was good enough to play it. And then started playing with Admiral Nolan. And then he ended up helping me get a good computer that was good enough to both play and stream it.
The Nintendo machine, that's what we called it.
Yep. Okay. It's still here. Still using it.
Cool.
Yeah, I've been wanting to upgrade too. Are you stuck in that boat too? You can't upgrade right now, or you just don't want to upgrade?
I'm not quite ready to upgrade yet. The only thing I've had to change on this, I've added a hard drive and the cooler went out, so I had to put in a new cooler. But otherwise, it still runs great.
Yeah.
But the next thing on the list is probably a graphics card, and that's not going to be anytime soon.
That's my problem. That's my problem right now. I'm like, can't even get it. I got the money, but they sell out so quick. What the hell? So
yeah, Paul.
So my next question is, who did you watch back in the day, MzHartz?
Well, again, the answer is Bear. Again, because he was my best friend, and I think some of the earliest people knew me from being his main moderator, kind of producer and stuff of sorts on his stream. Who else? And it was a lot of the fighter pilots. Hydro Big Bang was one of them. I know I watched Baron. Those are the ones I can remember.
And there was a reason why but there was a reason why you followed fighter pilots, because in the early days there wasn't anything to do but.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, Arena Commander.
Well, that's what I did too.
Mm-hmm.
And as a side note, MzHartz is or was or still is a M50 pilot. You delivered M50. Have you gotten back into one yet?
So when they knocked the M50's hard points down to size 1s, I melted it. But they are back up to size 2s. They have been.
They're doing
for
the
a
rework.
while,
Yeah, come on.
I need to buy it again. I feel like not myself without the M50.
That was one of your first ships, right?
No.
Okay.
So I started with an Aurora, and that was in those days which either one was better than the other, the Aurora or the Mustang. And when I actually started flying, the Mustang was actually the better fighting ship. So I then bought the Mustang Alpha. Okay. Hello, Bear. He knew I was talking about him.
So I got the twitch. His hairs went up on his arm. Like, oh no, she's talking about me.
Well, his job is research at CIG, so I would assume that he's always watching Twitch all the time.
True.
He just doesn't say anything.
I mean, he might have known there was a reason. But then once I started actually following things and getting some rec, remember rec?
Yeah.
Rental.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Then what was I flying? I was flying something, and then I got into the glaive.
Oh.
I loved the glaive. That was when it was a glass cannon. It hit hard. You could take out a ship in 3 shots, but you were also taken out in 3 shots. That was probably 1.3. And then after that is when I got into the M50 and fell in love.
Okay. I want to show you. Go ahead, fastcart.
For my last question, what made you become a content creator?
No. We're going to hold off on that one. We're going to just do the first 2 questions for now, because we're going to come back to that for everybody. Okay, that's okay.
Damn, fastcart, don't rush us, man. I know you can.
Man. All right.
Own it.
So, MzHartz, I want to show another video that's tied into you here, okay? And then we can talk about it a little bit.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Hello! Welcome to the 7th episode of Diverse the Verse. I am MzHartz, and with me I've got Meerkat, Sophie Girl,
Somebody's got a speaker running.
Ryan Chambers.
Woo! Hey everyone.
Thank you
very much. I'm on lucky number 7.
Yes, you are on lucky number 7.
I like that. Thanks.
Hey, that worked out nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually pretty nice.
Granted, any episode of Diverse the Verse is lucky.
Of course.
Yeah.
So I've heard. Yes.
Thank you so much for being here, Brian. This means so much to us. We have been looking forward to having you on the show, and we're all really grateful that you were able to make it. And thank you for taking the time out of your schedule to sit with us.
Absolutely. It's Friday. It is almost the end of my day here, so what better way to end the day and jump into the weekend to hang out and talk game? Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Cool.
Perfect. Yeah.
Contel153, thank you for that follow. MzHartz, here's the question I want to ask you. Like I said, I kind of showed both these videos for a reason. As you know, women are the minority, right? Especially back in the early days of Star Citizen, right? And, you know, the fact that when we showed that first video, there were 2 women on there, I was kind of really surprised to see that. But I want to kind of have you talk a little bit about the progression of what it was like coming in to Star Citizen and what kind of brought you to the place where you guys ended up. I'm not sure who was exactly producing Diverse. A lot of people don't know that there was a Diverse, so maybe you could kind of share a little bit about that.
So, Diverse was actually started as a collaboration between Sophie and Witch Kitty. And they brought me in pretty early on because I was a big Star Citizen streamer at the time. The biggest women star anyway, because I was known as a female player. And then we brought in Meerkat, who also used to be an excellent fighter pilot. And we got Fiaste on our team. I think that's the biggest our team was at one point. And then we had other guests. We had Eden Star on. We had Batgirl, of course. And Lady Nighthawk. A few others. I'm sure I'm forgetting someone. But when it came to producing it, we actually started out with the philosophy that a different person would produce it each time.
Okay.
And when we first started it, we were rotating whose stream it was on too. I think the first one was on Sophie's stream, second one was on my stream. So it'd be on someone's different stream. And then the base actually offered us space on theirs after my ISP decided to throttle my internet one time during it. So that was a rough stream. So thank you to the base for offering us the space for Diverse, and that helped us out a lot. But we still kept switching who was producing it, who was kind of in charge of it each time. So we all took on the load.
And so what happened? I mean, I know you put out several episodes. Somebody even asked in the chat, oh my God, how did they get Brian Chambers, right? Could you tell a little bit about what it was like back in the day? Because there was a time when you could get the quote unquote CIG people to come on to a show.
So we actually got Xylo on first.
Okay.
And awesome guest. Of course, it's Xylo. And after that stream, Brian Chambers actually approached us and said, oh my God, can I be on that list? And we're like, fuck yeah.
No, Brian Chambers, no.
Yeah, no. Why would we want him on? Yeah, of course.
Okay, so what was it like in those early days? I mean, just kind of coming into this thing, this is, as we know, gaming is quite often kind of male dominated. Were you well received? Was it kind of bumpy? Did it get better as time went by? How has that been for you? And you've been in here a while, so you've kind of got a purview of this whole thing.
So I started streaming on my own with Admiral Nolan, and I have a unique sense of humor. I'm trying to decide how to say this. That I think a lot of other women wouldn't tolerate, quite frankly. And I don't blame them. So I think my attitude made it a little bit different. And the fact that I did learn and I did train a lot to be able to hold my own against other pilots and Arena Commander. So that I could actually, you talk shit to me, I can take you out in game type thing. So that helped.
Okay.
Now, don't approach me. I can't do shit.
Just leave me alone.
What? Done.
Well, you're a legacy person, so no, I don't think anybody's going to mess with you at this point. You're known in the community.
Well, there's some people that mess with you just for that purpose.
Yeah, so. That's the nicest way of saying you're old I've ever seen.
Wow. Using legacy.
Wait. Did you mean legacy fleet?
No. I'm just saying there are some.
Did you throw that man in front of the train? Literally, just like how push.
I'm just saying there are some. I'm saying there are some foundational people in this community that I think are respected. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
The funny part about that is that you using the word legacy, because I'm a part of Legacy Fleet, who makes the Legacy Instructional Series videos.
See?
So I wasn't sure if you meant Legacy as an old,
nope,
or Legacy
Don't
as
listen to Paul.
the
Don't
people
listen
that make
to
the
Paul.
instructional videos and kind of know their
Don't
stuff,
listen to the guy on your left, okay? He's just starting stuff, okay? Don't start stuff. Okay, so let's move on. DoggDemon, your turn. Go ahead, and you said you wanted to go after Paul, so there he is. You get to do the grilling.
Bully Paul. Why were you late, Paul? Why were you late, huh?
Because I can't tell time. It's the summer. Leave me alone.
Why do ships only have 3 skins? Haha, you remember that one. So, all right. So, Paul, how did you get into Star Citizen? We're all inquiring and want to know.
This is a long story. I'll try to make it as concise as possible.
Says the lore master. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, I managed to summarize the entirety of Star Citizen's lore in under 10 minutes.
That's impressive.
Yeah. Dropped a lot of stuff off, but I managed to get most of it. So the story starts basically when I was a much younger man, and I'd always kind of envisioned a game like Star Citizen to exist when it was in the early 2000s. And I remember telling myself that by the time I reach a certain age, I would try to make this game myself. And I passed that certain age and had gotten back into PC gaming because of a friend had given me a copy of Arma 2. And so I played it a little bit, and then was hearing about this game that was this mod for it that was being tested. So I knew a couple of the folks who were part of the mod team for it, called DayZ, and I ended up loving it, getting really involved in it, and eventually got me back into PC gaming. And so I talked with a bunch of my friends from there about this and saying, hey, you know what? I always said I wanted to try to make this game. I know a little bit of code. I'll start drafting up some ideas and just say, let's have fun. Let's try it. And so I had some friends who were also willing to try this out. And as I was going around talking to my friends, trying to get some of these people to sign up for it, someone said, Star Citizen. And I went, what? It's like, you just described Star Citizen. But the hell is Star Citizen? So I looked it up and I watched a video on, I think it was Scott Manley. Yeah, it was Scott Manley who did the video. Who was covering Star Citizen at the time. And I was like, oh, okay, I get it. Yeah, I'll wait until there's something to play. I'll wait to back until there's something to play. And I was just kind of minding my own business, I think a year passed at that point, and then I saw a Scott Manley video that said Star Citizen releases hangar module, and I'm like, oh, the alpha started. Okay, cool. So I went to go buy a ship. I was an idiot because I was looking for something that said alpha access, and I didn't see anything that said alpha access. The first thing that I saw that said alpha access was a 315p package, which was like $100 or like $80 or something like that, and I was like, whatever. I'm already in for a penny, in for a pound. Whatever. I'll just get that. And that is how I ended up in Star Citizen. Back in 2013, I think. Yeah, like August of 2013.
Okay.
Oh, just because your low videos are 10 minutes doesn't mean your introduction to Star Citizen doesn't have to be 10 minutes also, okay?
I was not given a timer. No one told me that was under a timer.
Oops, did I forget that? Oh, it says make sure Paul does not rant. Oh, my bad.
All right. Well, before you do question number 2 for him, DoggDemon, we're going to show a little something on him. So I would tell you guys to brace yourselves a little bit for this one, okay?
Here we go.
All right.
Come on, space helmet.
Welcome,
space
ladies
helmet.
and gentlemen, to the first episode of
the beard. Dang, that's an epic beard.
First episode
my
of
beard definitely evolution.
The Captain's Table.
It's my
Captain's table is it's Captain's Table. He's at the head of the table there. This is a Star Citizen podcast with we bring in community content creators to come in, hang out, talk about the recent news in Star Citizen. We're not really a news podcast. It's more of just kind of a sit back, relax, grab yourself something to drink, hang out. If you guys want to get involved in the discussion, feel free to.
Fap if you feel like it.
Yeah, just the pants off, dance off. You do what you want to do. That's just what this is for. Going in order to introduce, we've got right below me we have Meyer Test.
Did you say below me?
Below me.
Below me.
To his left, we have Gray-Headed Gamer.
Yeah.
GHG.
What's up, guys?
Then we have to his left, we have Brickyard from Brickyard Gaming.
Above Brickyard, we have Geo of Geo Get Money. And to Geo's right, we have at the head of the table, Captain Flint. And of course, I am as always, your humble space bartender and host, Paul Shelley of the Astro Club.
Never gets old.
Yay!
Harvey. Never does. I do want to say a shout out Nubsy for making this overlay. He spent some time with me yesterday, making sure everything works like that and stuff.
That's a pretty elaborate overlay, Paul.
Did he actually spend time on that?
Super elaborate.
Everyone's
Wow,
Wow.
I still stand by all of this. So how this is going to work is the design decisions. That's the which way. Something functional and out there. You can feel free to jump in as you want. If you guys want to have any questions at the end of this, I think this is the first time. You hit exclamation point questions. It gives you a link to a Google Forms. You fill out, ask the questions. You can ask questions of any of us, one of us, some of us. You can ask official CIG questions, which we will answer completely incorrectly, so we can get concern threads on the forums, and Disco Lander can scream at me.
That hasn't changed.
Good times. No, it has not.
Okay, we are going to bring in, guess who? Ta-da! There he is. Ooh.
Trixie.
There he is.
Chris Roberts? Is that Chris Roberts? It's not Chris Roberts. Darn.
I am so glad that Mike is here, because I thought his wife would have murdered him by now.
Wow.
He was late. He was like an hour late to a meeting he was supposed to go to this morning. That's all I'm gonna say.
Ooh. Well, Mike, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for making it, Mike.
How many people are you gonna throw in front of the train, the bus? Like, what are you doing, man? You're just out here murdering people.
Bastard.
I was precisely on time for lunch.
There you go.
I was lucky. It wasn't
priorities.
It wasn't ready.
There you
in
go.
Time, but,
Okay, so Paul.
Sorry, I'm late here though, guys.
No, you're fine. We knew you were coming. Thanks, man. We appreciate you making
We've
it.
been holding it down for you, bro. It's okay.
Yep. So, Dog, go ahead. You can go ahead and feel free, and then we'll talk to Paul. But go ahead, DoggDemon, on his next question. You can hit him with that one.
Okay, because I know Paul will try to be slick about this one. Other than yourself, who did you watch back in the day, Paul?
It was why am I blanking? It was Baron.
By himself.
It was Baron was one of them, but
I feel like I know who you're blanking on too, because I know on him.
No, you know him. You're one of his Saurus.
Oh,
Saurus.
Okay, that's not who I was thinking.
Oh yeah, I watched some Saurus.
Yeah, Saurus, Brickyard, who's on this, and this one was another one. Hydro Big Bang. That's another one I watched.
He's a beast.
Oh gosh, he was so good at the game. Who else was?
I see the fuzzy lines going in front of Paul and go through the Wayback Machine.
I'm glad he's blinking because it's karma. It's honestly karma because he's throwing people in front of trains and now he's like, oh man, I'm on the spot.
I can't do it.
It's funny how like the streamers watch the streamers and like the YouTubers watch the YouTubers. I just like kind of noticed that. It's like you're either you're more YouTube or you're more Twitch. I love Twitch. It's just I never have time to catch people like when I'm work schedule. I would love to watch you guys more, but I'm always like more of a YouTube guy.
Yeah.
I watched a lot of people who are on YouTube, but I felt like I started watching more content creators after I became a content creator myself. So yeah, but the people, the person who I remember, and this is the one memory that sticks out, was the first CitizenCon. That was like 2015, I think. Where the day before the CitizenCon broadcast started, Saurus did a 24-hour live stream that was just him staring at a fish tank. It was 20. He used to do his fish tank streams.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, we had nothing early on. The hanger fish tank. Yes,
I remember that.
Oh, okay.
When the fish tank actually worked, I remember that. That's crazy. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Paul, by the way, again, I compliment you on that layout. It's amazing. You said you guys stayed up all night to pull it off back then. That was a big deal.
We did.
But here's the kicker. This is the kicker I want everybody to notice. Check out the size of those headphones on everybody. I mean, they are monsters back in the day. Okay, they are monsters. Okay, I'm gonna hop over Mike because we're gonna give him a couple seconds to get set up, and we're gonna jump to Stoutman. Stoutman, I've got something that you could elaborate on a little bit, and it's about something that used to be in the game that I don't think we've seen in quite some time. So let me turn that off and turn this on.
Uh-oh. Star Jump, thanks for the follow.
Star Jump, hey, thanks, buddy. Good to see you.
Oh my.
Oh.
So dark.
Mm-hmm. This man's about to Tokyo drift around a Connie for a music video.
Oh yeah, I used to love doing this. This hangar, what's the Aero View or?
Yeah, Aero View, yeah.
It had the elevated landing pads and these ramps, and you could get some crazy jumps. And I used to have this. I had this one ship that would spawn in like upside down and hanging over the edge and stuff. So sometimes the wing would be on the ground, so you could use the ship as a jump. It was pretty good. I got a few videos on my YouTube channel of that.
That is awesome.
We were so easily amused.
Yeah.
Well, hangars were a lot of fun at one time.
It's so humbling to watch this because I came in right after the hangars and stuff like that. It's just so humbling to see people just make so much fun with just like this little bit of space.
Yeah.
I'm actually jealous I didn't get a chance to even play in this hangar.
Are you serious?
This is for Shane.
Same. I got to play
Oh,
it after
before
that.
those came along, you would get in your hangar and just get in your ship and just make little
pretend.
Right. So,
well, we used to spend hours giving hangar tours.
So, Pops, talk a little bit about what they're seeing right now, Stoutman. Stoutman, tell them a little bit about what they're seeing here, because some people don't know.
This is me just kind of running around, showing off stuff in the hangar. I don't know why I was ramming into the fish tank, probably showing how something was indestructible. I don't know, or maybe I was drunk. Who knows? But
early test streamers. Maybe I was drunk.
This was my favorite hangar. You know, I really liked this.
Yeah, hangar. I love the Aero View. It's gorgeous. So here's the part that I want us all to pay attention to after Stoutman gets to doing his run through this hangar. And for those of you who understand why this is kind of seems like we're reminiscing, there was a time when this is all you could do. So those ramps that used to be in there, people spent time making these jumps and driving around. But check out what Stoutman's last move is here.
Oh, the bar.
Remember that?
Wait, what?
You used to be able to get drunk.
Yeah.
There's drunk.
You get drunk, you get all fuzzy. That takes a couple minutes to wear off. It was
so you can't drunk quantum jumping, bro.
Yes, that was what you did back in the day. Was you would have a drink, and I want to show one more, and then we're going to ask him a little question here.
No, you get all drunk, you get that visual, and then you get in the vehicle and start driving around. It's like really trippy. Don't need any drugs for that one either.
Now, Stoutman, I don't know if you remember this video or not, so.
I need to do what?
Now, I used to stay up and watch Stoutman because I worked the midnight shift at the time, and when I was working, and he was up late night. And I would spend hours watching him. I remember watching when you were making bobbleheads for the cockpit of your thing there. I mean, yeah.
I still have those.
Really?
I've got like 20 something of them. Oh my god. I've been making bobbleheads of a few streamers too.
So somebody evidently put the Klingon music to their glaive while they're going after Stoutman.
Oh really?
Oh, I love this.
Where did you find this video?
I can't remember now. But your ending part to this video is why I grabbed it.
I feel like I'm actually watching a sci-fi movie like hum-da-dum-da-dum. Oh no!
You're six, man.
From my understanding, you're flying in a Starfarer, Stoutman. You're in a Starfarer.
And they're chasing me in a glaive, huh?
Yeah, and I'm wondering if this person was stream sniping you because I can hear you talking in the background.
Yeah.
And I think I think that's what it was.
The real question is, was it consensual PvP?
Probably not.
Probably not.
I mean,
That
I'm
might
about
be
to
a
call Chris
problem.
Hansen because this is not no.
I mean, that may be a problem now, you know. Now there's PvP.
What ship am I in?
You're in a Starfarer. You're in a Starfarer.
Oh, okay. This is probably back when Starfarers were pretty new.
Yeah.
What year is this, Griffin?
I don't even remember now, fastcart.
Oh, you don't have the
Probably
year
like
with the video? Okay.
Starfarers were pretty tough at the beginning. They had like really big shields that like nothing could penetrate.
Now I'm actually curious how this is going to end.
Fade to black, that's my guess.
Uh-oh.
Well,
the fact that he has you smoking.
That's some smoke coming out. That's not a good sign. It's okay. Lifetime insurance. I don't care.
Just
I'm just surprised this thing was able to
missiles
damage
never
everybody.
worked. Missiles never were, like, you can never stop yourself from getting hit from them for a long time.
Yeah, this is
all I see is sky firing missiles.
This is 2016 fastcart. Now check out Stoutman's response at the end of this run. It's coming up pretty soon.
The music really doesn't match the video.
I'm actually invested. I actually really want to know how this ends.
That's how it ended.
I'm waiting for the regular PTU when they don't just let everybody in who wants to be a dick.
Well, damn.
Yep, and that's what it was. This was stream sniping, and for streamers, that was kind of be a frustrating thing, especially back in the day when it would take so long to even get the game running well, and someone would do something like that. Let me jump to you again, Stoutman. Like I said, you're one of the early people I used to watch, especially late night. How did you find out about Star Citizen?
Oh, God. My sister told me that Brian got a new job. This was like early 2015, like, I don't know, he started. So she tells me the website, there's robertspaceindustriescom for a game called Star Citizen. I'm like, God, that's stupid. Why can't they just use starcitizen.com? So I go there, and because I do web stuff and web development, and so it's like, to me, it's like stupid. Sorry, Chris, it's just fact's a fact. So I go to the website and I'm looking around and I'm like, it was clunky as hell, and I'm like, I couldn't really see what the game was about after 3 or 4 pages, and it was loading slow, and I'm just like, screw this. So I didn't even know what Star Citizen was. So I don't know, 4 or 5 months later, a new guy at my job told me about Star Citizen, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I go look it up, and I'm like, oh, I've heard of this game before. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah, my brother-in-law works there. He's like, what? So Brian Chambers, who runs the German Frankfurt, that's my brother-in-law. So yeah, then I started paying attention. And then the guy at work tells me about Twitch, watching people stream it. I'm like, oh, okay, that's interesting. Because back right when I started, it was right when Area, what was it, 18 or whatever the hell it was, came out.
The module, the social module, yeah.
The first social module. I mean, I started like right that first week that was open. So I was playing that the whole time, streaming that, and then Arena Commander, and then your hangars. So you had your 3 things, your 3 areas of the game that you could stream. And I just started watching it, and started streaming it. I just loved the game. Okay. I got the Mustang Alpha was my first package that I upgraded it to a Bang Stang, and then I got a Constellation package, and then I went crazy after that. So
Old school Bang Stang.
The Bang Stang.
The Bang Stang is the Mustang Beta.
Bang Stang.
No, it was the Mustang Beta has had the bang taken out of it.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It is now way too clean and crisp. I miss the old Bang Stang.
Yeah, I like the
have
interior.
screenshots. I still have a Bang Stang.
Really?
I don't care what they did in the game. I still have a bang stain.
So was there, Stoutman, was there anybody that in the beginning when you were starting to figure out about this thing, anybody you watched that caught your eye that was streaming or on YouTube?
I started watching on Twitch. I wasn't watching YouTube. I got into that a little bit later when I wanted to start learning about the game.
Okay.
But basically on Twitch, I was watching like, Bad News Baron and his name. My mind is a blank. Captain
Richard.
Gimbal.
Well, Captain Richard was there, but then there was also the other
Gamble. Gamble. No.
Well, Sergeant Gamble.
Yes.
Sergeant Gamble. He started streaming like a month or two after me, I think.
Oh,
but
okay.
He was early on, and
Flint?
I can't even think of who. Never mind.
Okay, the captain would be Captain.
But I started watching on Twitch, and I watched it a lot.
That early though.
You're watching Twitch, folks. Flint, maybe? No. Okay.
Yeah, Captain Flint. There we go.
Okay.
Captain Flint. There we go.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool. Okay.
So yeah, and then I started streaming. In December 2015. Like 2.5 months after I bought the game, I started streaming it, and because I've always done IT stuff, computer stuff, so I was interested in the streaming and started with OBS and bought a camera, bought a mic, and just had fun. Just went for it and just loved it.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. Let's do the intro. Fastcart, if you could do the questions for question 1 and 2 for Mike, but I want to give him his treatment. Mike, everybody's getting a little video treatment here, so brace yourself. All right, we went back into the internet archives and tried to find something entertaining. So here we go.
Hey guys, Twerk17.
It's probably difficult for you to find
an
something
episode
entertaining.
of Twerk Talk highlights.
Oh my
god. We're gonna do a monthly highlight of
Twerk
all
Talk.
of our Twerk Talks, which is just a little part of our stream that we do daily.
Ask
I
me
hope
anything.
You all enjoy. Okay, so guys, we are at the point of the
I
stream.
still
where
have
about
that gift
9
somewhere.
minutes left. This is where I just kind of
the same
hang out in the hangars.
experience.
Pretty much what we were doing earlier. We just kind of talk. You can ask me any question you want. I always answer them as honestly as I possibly can.
Brave man.
There's some things I just can't answer, and
Some
we've
of
gone
those
through
old
those.
hangers I like. I don't know. Maybe it's just the nostalgia
with exhaustion,
for me. I don't know.
think at this point.
It's
But,
nostalgia for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So any question you want to ask
We
me, it
spent
can
a
be
lot
about
of time in them,
streaming,
too,
about
so it was like their home.
Star Citizen,
Yeah.
about ice hockey, about
I wish they'd have
Lola.
just kept them and just made them modular like they were talking
about the meaning of
That's
life.
what I would have liked. Yeah, keep these in.
Whatever you
Maybe like
want.
a firefly
I
feel.
thought
If you could have sex with
I
an
thought
Orion,
you were
would you?
supposed to be able to
Would you let it
eventually
mine
be
you?
able
I would
to
let it
invite
mine
people
me.
over to
Yeah.
your hangar.
I would take. I would be the
Oh,
taker.
man.
That was
I would definitely be the
that
taker.
was supposed to happen.
They
That was
keep
supposed
redoing
to
Good
things
start.
50
Good start to
times
Twerk
instead of
Talk, guys.
finishing something, so.
Oh, so what do you learn at dealing school? Give us an insight. First thing, I wish I had a deck of cards.
That's the
I'll be right
OG
back.
county
Someone
right there,
asked
y'all.
you. Yeah, someone asked you. What did you learn in dealer school?
Yeah, I do have a manager role.
Oh man, not much.
Not much at all. What?
Not much.
So for those of you who can't see, he actually goes and gets a box and sits it in front of the camera.
Oh, and started teaching. Yes, I remember this.
If you didn't believe I was dealing,
And that's like the one thing that I'm good at is throwing the cards. That's the only thing I'm good at.
I'm sure that's really loud.
So we need a blackjack table on the 890 for you.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Blackjack action.
So Paul at the bar of the 890, then SaltEMike dealing the cards. Okay.
There you go. That's gonna be a fucking party.
See that?
Somebody asked in chat, is this pre-Emmy
That's
my
feeling.
wife? This was, yeah.
How hunk is my donk? It's pretty hunk.
And he was in.
Whoa. Fucking creepy face. I'm going to kill you.
Used to do weird stuff, man.
I
This
am
was the
going
game
to
back then,
murder
it's so
you.
crazy.
So what was up with the flag?
Give me all your LTI ships.
Every week, I think we changed the flag to
That guy
somebody
is
from
not to be fucked
the,
with.
like where they were in the
Right
community.
there. That guy
They
is
have a different
not to
flag
be
in the
fucked with.
background, Because just the time that I
Haha,
streamed at
Uranus is gonna get
crazy how many
destroyed
different,
tonight.
Like different
Please go
areas
sit in
of
the
the world
toilet.
that people
Don't
were
tell me what
watching
to
from,
do.
'cause I
I'll
just
do what I want.
had the weirdest
Okay?
time, you know.
Do
That
what I
was, like,
want.
part
I'm
of-
not
I don't
listening
know
to
why
you.
we did that,
I'm
but
not
that
gonna go
was-
sit on the
it
toilet.
was something like
Best
that.
place for Twerk Talk?
because there was nothing to do.
Ew, why is his finger in there?
Yeah. Bro, CIG came a long way making ships. God damn.
Okay, Fastcart, you can go ahead and give him his questions.
So first off, Griffin and I both back and forth on who to invite to the show. You were one of the first people I remember watching back in the day. I started in 2014, and I got into Twitch around 2015. And you were one of the first people who I was watching. So thank you for streaming back then, and thank you for coming on tonight. But my first question for you is, when are you going to bring back Trixie? No, I'm kidding.
The real question we need to know.
My wife killed her.
Wow.
She said never again.
God damn it.
How did you learn about Star Citizen?
Ooh, I played this game, that very, very old game called Ultima Online that Chris worked on and a number of people from the Austin studio worked on. And I played that when I was in high school, and then in college I got into poker, and then there was in a time where they removed online poker from the US, and I was looking for something to do with my time, and I was like, oh, I love that game, let me go back to it. And I started playing it for a while, and somebody had mentioned the Kickstarter on a forum. So I could have been a golden ticket holder, but I mean, I like, as a joke, because like people call the game a scam or whatever, I actually thought it was a scam. I was like, this guy.
Oh, you're one of those.
Yeah, well, because I played Wing Commander 2 as a kid. Like, I would go to my friend's house and play Wing Commander because I didn't have a computer that could play it. We loved that game. So I knew who Chris Roberts was, but he had, like, disappeared and didn't make any games because I didn't know about Freelancer. I didn't know about Starlancer. I never knew those games existed. So for me, the last game was Wing Commander 5, which, like, he wasn't even really a part of, and it wasn't that good. And people are like, he's coming back to make games, and it got me excited, but then it was like this Kickstarter thing that I didn't understand, so I like held off. And then what brought me in? It was a Linus Tech Tips video.
Okay.
Luke from Linus Tech Tips started talking about Star Citizen, and they had this org, and that is what brought me into it, because that was what legitimized it for me. I was like, well, if Linus and Luke think it's okay, then it's okay. So I bought it and started playing, and yeah, that's
and it's
what
almost
kind of
full circle, because we had another Linus Tech Tip video about a month ago, and here you are again.
Yep. Yeah, and they made like jokes from back then where they said like the number of backers they would have that's how much money they would or the number of org members, that's how much money they would spend, and it was funny stuff back then. But yeah, that's kind of like what legitimized it for me.
So my second question is, who did you watch back in the day?
The one that was escaping me, and I had to like Google it and look up on Twitter, was Geek Domo, and obviously Saurus, but Geek Domo with Starcast, like that was my jam. You know, that was the podcast that spawned all of these podcasts. Was
Geek Domo, yep, absolutely.
Yep. So Geek Domo was my man. Like, no matter what game he played, it was really fun to watch him. So when he played Star Citizen, that was like one of the main people I watched. Saurus, like I was pre-Baron, pre-Captain Richard, like those guys came in just after I was watching Geek Domo and stuff. I don't know where I started streaming though. I don't know when, but yeah, that was those were the people that inspired me for sure.
Okay. I mean, after 7 years, it's all a blur, right?
Yeah, it's true.
Okay. Well,
it's true.
We're going to hit you guys with some round robin questions. I'm going to take the first one, Fastcart, you take the second, DoggDemon, you take the third, if that's okay, guys. At the bottom of the sheet there. I'm going to start out with Subvegio, but I'm going to go Geo. Subvegio's just too long, buddy. Geo, what was the toughest period for you as a streamer with Star Citizen?
Probably right now, to be honest, because I had a moment last year when it was the when was it? They were doing the event for the Vandal Mask. And I just had a realization that I said I cannot play this shit until server meshing or the Vulcan, whatever magic sauce helps this desync. I can't do it no more because I want to get that mask so bad. And I get off work and I just desync like back to back, and I just like, damn it, like it was like Rocket League raid. So I was like, at that point, I need to back up.
Okay.
And I need to take a break. So I would probably say right now,
You're anticipating
I do
that.
like the progress of some of the stuff. Yeah, I want to get back in and make content. I just don't want to be. People know me for being excited about the game. I don't want to come on here looking burnt out. I know some people get burnt out and they just don't have the same passion they once had with this game. Salty raised his hand, but you know, I don't want to be that person. I want to make sure when I come back in, I'm having fun. I have a new rig because right now I got like 8 gigs of RAM left. That's not enough to even play the game right now. So last ship I checked out was around that time frame. What ship was that? The Mercury Star run. I did like a little run around and I just cut it off after that. And after the Van Duel, I haven't played since.
Okay.
And I'm cool with just letting the content stack up until I get my rig built, my new rig built, and maybe they get their stuff together. Because this year, I don't know if we're even going to see any of the Vulcan or server members. So I would say probably right now is the hardest moment for me.
Fair enough. And I guarantee you, when you get that rig, it's going to make a huge difference. You're going to be happy because I did mine this year, and I can't tell you how much stuff changed when I did the new rig. So I did it right before the crazy card prices went nuts. Okay, so thank you.
Man, y'all supposed to hook our brother up on the 2080. I mean 3080, whatever we're on. Shit.
3090 is the top one, but yeah.
3090, you know.
Okay.
Don't bother with the TI. Just don't do it.
Right now.
Y'all was supposed to include me in when y'all was buying these so I could get the hookup, man. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Well, brother's struggling.
We'll keep our eye open for
Can we
you.
get a group discount?
Buying in bulk. What is buying in bulk? Okay.
You can find it in a group. You can barely find one.
All right, MzHartz, what about you? What was over the time period you've been in this, what was the toughest time for you as a streamer with this whole thing, Star Citizen?
Not to steal Gio's answer, but I also think it's right now.
Okay.
Because it used to be that, you know, you'd take a break from streaming, you'd come back and you'd stream Star Citizen, and just all of these people would come flooding back. And the last couple times I've streamed Star Citizen, granted, I don't stream on a regular basis anymore. You get a couple people, it's a small trickle, but it's not those numbers and it's not that same feel that it used to be. And I think just because there's more people, there's more to it, and it's harder to dogfight now because there's more excellent dogfighters out there, and that used to be my thing. And I mean, I'm also out of practice, so I can't do the things that I used to on stream. And so it's kind of hard because it's a coming back to streaming kind of standpoint. And it wasn't Star Citizen itself that took me out of streaming. It was personal life stuff. Yeah. So I really do think it's hard to get back into streaming right now if you're used to those old days and that old feel.
Okay. Good point.
The legacy feel.
The legacy feel.
I see what you did there.
Okay. Let me do a quick shout out to Commander Face Guy, to Starjump Grim, to Gook Adventures, and Hero Shade for the follows, and Gladestone, thank you, buddy, for the resub. We appreciate that. Paul, same question, going to you. What was the toughest period as far as your life in Star Citizen as a streamer or player? Thank you, Scuba Steve.
Probably 2.6.
Okay, for folks who weren't around, fill them in. What was going on?
The year without a patch.
How long again was that again? Say that again.
It was a year without a patch. It was a year without a patch.
Right.
So yeah. I mean, like, I mean, it was. We were lucky that 2.6 was mostly a stable patch. Like 30Ks weren't really a thing back then. You didn't really have crashes to desktops, and you had some decent, stuff going on. Like it was the biggest thing was the security point Korea, but it was a year with the same patch. No fixes, no updates, barely any information when the next patch is coming out. We had, nothing even close to a roadmap existed. It was. It was very, very rough. And as a streamer, trying to make content with what we had in Star Citizen at the time was, you had to get creative. not as creative as when we were doing the hangar streams, but it was definitely rough to try to stream Star Citizen at that time, or even create content for Star Citizen at that time.
Okay.
But Paul, we got to watch Disco Lando's beard grow. That had to be worth it, right?
Okay, Traven does have a good point.
What did Traven say?
The ICC missions.
Oh, they were still there. Yeah, but for a year.
It was before. It was before they killed Tessa brutally and never brought her back.
Yeah.
But that was all we had. You got to remember, that was the only thing we had. So
and some folks here don't even know who Tessa was. You know what I mean? I mean, it's been that long now.
True.
You know,
Yeah, that's sad.
Some people have no idea what even Tessa was.
The ICC missions. Which one was that one again?
The distress bacon.
Yeah,
the distress.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, I remember those. I wasn't streaming at the time, but I remember those.
Yeah,
that was like 8 of them or something in the series to finish it off, which was hard. Because usually the game would crash before you get to the end of all.
Yep.
That's the truth.
And the last
and you start over.
And the last one was what, Mike?
You fought Vandal.
Right.
It's the only time there's aliens in the game.
Yep.
Was then.
Yep. Ooh, don't tell people that.
It's Alien Week.
Don't tell people that, boy, because they didn't know that they actually showed up in the verse back then. You're
Mike,
right.
you fool. What are you talking about?
Tell them that. Yeah. Okay, Mike.
We got to talk about aliens.
Yeah, Mike. We're gonna jump to you. What was Twerk's tough time? What was the tough when it was tough back then for you?
Ooh, well, Twerk's tough times are different than Mike's tough times.
I'll take a combination, whichever one's the toughest between the two.
It's hard not to say now, but for different reasons. And I think now it's more difficult to play the game and talk about the game when you know the direction it's going in, and it's like it's right there. Like it's
there, but not there.
Right
there, but not there.
But it's there, but it's not there. Like the nostalgia that I think MzHartz was talking about. It was this beautiful time where we didn't know, and there's a quote that somebody said from the Wingman's Hangar days. It was a backer that said the worst thing about Star Citizen releasing is it releasing. Like we're not going to be able to discuss what might be anymore. And I think that's like, for me at least, when MzHartz said that was the vibe that I remember back then. That doesn't exist as much now. I would imagine with newer backers. Yeah, we had hope, and I hate to say it because I still have tons of hope. It's a lot of cope, you know. There's a lot of coping going on instead of hoping, you know. And I would say now it's tough, but yeah, there was times like Arena Commander days. I wish I remember like what time frame it was when, you know, there were no ships to earn or rent in the game, and if you only had an Aurora or a 300i, but that patch, the Super Hornet, was the best, what could you do?
Yeah.
You know,
Sethius, thank you so much. Sethius is back. He's back haunting us again with 20 subs. Wow. You guys make sure you give Seth some thank yous for that. Thank you, Sethius.
Thank you, Seth.
Yeah, thank you, buddy.
Wow, Seth, big balling, baby.
Yeah. No, Mike, that's kind of waxing eloquent, Mike, I guess, and I definitely understand because I can see the transition, especially for content creators. You guys have kind of seen the progression and development in it from a different point of view. You know, player's point of view is one thing, but where you guys are out here, whether it's you're doing it out of the love of the game or whether you're doing it because you're full-time streaming, you guys just have a different dynamic when it comes to this. Stoutman, what about you? Was there rough period, patchy period, dry period for you?
Yeah. When we had the 263 long runs, I was just doing Tessa missions forever streaming, and there was twice I learned 1 million credits doing those missions, which took forever. And then they did the wipe. I did it twice, and I'm like, okay, that's enough. But then 3.0 came out, and
those were for persistence.
3.0 ran like crap on my system. There was some people with Windows 7 or Windows 10, just certain people, it just ran really, really bad, and they didn't know why. And I was one of those lucky people. So I just kind of like got away from streaming Star Citizen because it was unplayable a lot of the time for me. So and it didn't start getting better until 3.2. So there was a long point there where I could barely play the game. I mean, streaming it, let alone playing it at home, I just kind of got out of the game a lot at that point, and I never got my big I don't know. I didn't get back into it again as much as I did as I was before, because that really kind of ruined it for me in a way.
Took the energy out. Yeah.
Yeah, and it kind of killed the habit. I just was getting into other games and stuff. So.
Okay. Sethius, thank you for the 1,000 bits as well. Thank you guys. Test Squadron, Best Squadron. Sethius is out there hitting us up tonight. Thank you, buddy. I want to comment on something. For those of you who are looking at Stoutman's background, Stoutman's going to probably laugh when I tell him this. I remember when you created that and made it into a blanket. And
it is the blanket.
Is that
Captain
the blanket?
Richard had the first one,
Okay.
and then I copied it and got one too.
Yep.
Did you bring that to SitCon?
Yes, I did.
Yes, he did.
Okay, I thought I remembered seeing you in. You had like over your head.
Yeah.
I want one.
You can get one.
Yeah, I want people to know that that is not a background. That is actually the blanket. The Starfarer. They actually put that out. You could download the graphic. He provided the link to the graphic, and if you wanted to have that printed out, I think you even told us a company that would print it out or something back in the day.
Yeah, where I got it from. I knew a few of my viewers had gotten one. It's just, it's not cheap, but it's like, it's just very cool.
Yep. So those of you
so I bought a blanket instead of a ship one time. You know? It's more useful.
Right.
And touching is physical.
And that blanket was the blanket we saw in the captain's quarter of was it the Starfarer, if I'm not mistaken, when it first came out, right?
Captain's bed, yeah.
Okay.
That's where it was, and then it was also in the little mining ship. They used it in there also. The same blanket in the.
Yeah.
The
Prospector. There we go.
It was in the Prospector, which kind of pissed me off because I'm like, that was the Starfarer Captain. I had both ships, so I was okay. Now I think is it still in the Starfarer, or did they remove it?
I don't know. I haven't been in the Starfarer in a long time.
It can still be there, though.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you guys so much for the hosts. Hero Shay, thank you for the follow. Sten Gun, thank you for the follow. VerseCon, Texas, we love VerseCon. We went to VerseCon both times. Thank you guys for the follow. And Lotus Xerox, thank you for the follow as well. I mean, VerseCon, thank you for the host. Thank you. Major Stacks, thank you for the host as well. Okay, so we're going to change gears a little bit here. Fastcart's going to do the next round robin with you guys, and we'll start out with Sub again. So go ahead, Fastcart.
So Geo, I'm not going to mess with Subvegio. That's too much for me. You'll always be Geo to me. What kept you committed to the development, Geo?
The amazing team that they have. A lot of the problems I have is with what the top does. Every time I see these devs like work, or if you go through a studio tour, and when you see people from the community get hired, that always makes me want to, support the game. Always. So, like they do an amazing job. I mean, you look at all these other games out here, they're still not fucking with Star Citizen on any level. Like Cyberpunk was fucked up. They didn't have it done, even though I think those poor devs suffered because the people at the top. I'm pretty sure they didn't want to push that shit out like that. They suffer from the top. They want to get their money. But these devs are so amazing. And I love seeing so many of my friends and people from the community get hired in. So that's like one of the main reasons I still back to this day, because I know there's some awesome devs I always talk to and I'm actually friends with, and I want to make sure they keep their jobs and what they're doing. I definitely support the movement. It takes a little long. I know it's taking a long fucking time, but after seeing the Cyberpunk debacle, how long that took just for single player and it flopped, I'm willing to give them another 5 years if I have to. I know it's gonna suck to wait that long. 5
years.
No, Squadron 42 is really. Squadron 42 is really holding everything back. I just can't wait till that shit gets out the way, to be honest. I've been really just wanting that out the way so we could just focus on the MMO portion, but that's really my take on it. That's why I back Star Citizen and keep up with it to this day. Awesome. And it's ruined other games for me. It's hard for me to play another game now. It's like, it's not on Star Citizen's level. I'm like, this shit is like some old Xbox 360. The same copy and paste bullshit with these games, and I'm bored. And you want $70 now for some of these games?
I empathize for that so bad. I empathize with them.
If I could add to that,
it's like Battlefield is coming out with a multiplayer only with no single player, and you want to charge 70. So you want to charge more for less? Fuck out of here.
Blessed be a Geo. I have not heard a Geo rant.
I
Like
know
that.
in a long time. I know it's been a while. It has truly been a while, right? It was.
I'm defending
On
Battlefield.
top of that, you'll be playing a new game and think, man, they really could improve this. I should give them feedback. Wait.
They usually never listen to it.
Yeah, I know.
There's no input you can put in like you can in Star Citizen. You know, I know sometimes
exactly.
they don't always listen to us, but there's more feedback than any other game you'll get out there, period.
Yeah.
There's just other games that ain't listening like Star Citizen does.
Yeah. Real quick, I want to give a shout out to Lefty. Lefty, thank you for the 5 subs. Y'all send some thank yous to him. Again, Sethius, thank you for those. Test Squadron is showing out tonight. Thank you all so much for the support. MzHartz, it's funny that you would say that, right? Because that is a dynamic, right? When it comes to Star Citizen, I saw not Twerk. You saw SaltEMike shake his head too when Geo said it's hard to play other games now. It has kind of messed with us a little bit in our psyche, right? Even though stuff comes out all the time. And I hate to say this, I watched a little bit of E3 today, and I don't know if any of you guys got a chance to watch Bethesda's presentation.
I had no clue that was even going on.
Yeah,
today.
I watched it.
Bethesda did their thing, and I'm sitting here waiting to hear about Starfield. They opened up with Starfield, showed us this great cinematic, and then said, see you 11/11/2022. So they pushed it back a whole year, even though a couple months ago they said it was coming out in 2021. So, there's I think some people have learned from, you were just talking about what happened with Cyberpunk. And we can go over the list of all the games, all of the top tier companies that put out games, and over the last couple of years, stuff you just would have never expected from some of these companies, they didn't deliver. And so it did kind of pipe down a little bit of folks who were complaining about what was going on with Star Citizen. But, we're always going to have our thing about Star Citizen because we love it. Go ahead, Fastcart. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut in that much. Go ahead and jump to the next.
No, that's fine. No, you're exactly right. Especially like Andromeda and Cyberpunk. And yes, exactly. So people, I was saying they piped down just a little bit. There's still some people out there who scam and whatever. That did an updated Linus Tech Tip video. So I think that helped, and that brought new people in, especially during our Invictus week because we had a free fly. And just for me, I was surprised. Not surprised, pleasantly surprised at how stable the shows were, even though there was a free fly going on. Because that never happened before. Normally, we had more 30Ks and crashes and whatnot. So I think they're learning a lot, and people are learning that the longer something takes, the better it will be.
If you want next gen, my bad. If you want next gen gaming, you're going to have to wait for next gen timing. You're not going to get the same games that you had, and you're going to have innovation without longer times. That's just how it is. Because I know a lot of people were shitting on Cyberpunk. Oh my God, you delayed it again. And then when they pushed the bullshit out, why didn't you take longer? No, you don't get to do that. You don't get to say take long. Drop it now, delay and delay it. No, you have to make up your mind.
And Geo, to piggyback on that one, what you were talking about. So when I was jokingly, I was saying, hey, I'm going to defend Battlefield. It's a perfect thing because I'm kind of like Paul. I like looking at the diverse group of people in terms of not with just Star Citizen lore, but across the ages of development teams. So looking at Battlefield, it's a close to my heart one. And I think the new Battlefield, it's suffering from what the top brass can do. Because Star Citizen, when people look at me going, well, how are they not running out of money? And I explain it, people go, well, it's taking them so long. I'm like, right, but look at Cyberpunk. Look at what happened with Battlefield 5. Battlefield 5 didn't listen to community, and it sold worse than their worst Battlefield rated game. Now, I am excited. I will segue. I am excited for 6 because DICE went in and grabbed the head of Respawn Entertainment. Now, if anyone knows, Respawn Entertainment did the classic Modern Warfare games before it went the track it did. So Modern Warfare 1, 2, and 3.
Are you gonna shit on the Titanfall 2?
No, I love Titanfall. I love
the best game.
Right now.
Okay.
So they brought him on, and he's actually working. They never said this because they're gonna wait till July 22nd. He's working on a piece of the game right now for Battlefield 2042 that they haven't spoken of. They literally said, "Hey, look, you're doing a really good job. I'm the only guy who's making you guys money outside of your FIFA and Madden." And they said, "We want you to head up DICE LA." They have not spoken a word about what part he's doing. All they said was they're going to do a love letter. So if we take that and we kind of apply it to Star Citizen at least does listen to us when it's kind of needed. But at least, again, to your point, it has ruined it for me. I love Battlefield 4 and this stuff, but I always drift right back to Star Citizen. I'm like, I want the Mad Warfare. I can play Battlefield, I can play Star Citizen. Fuck, okay, Star Citizen, here I come. Like, I agree with you on that point.
I'm glad they did take time off too, because they were dropping them every year. That's a problem. That's why Call of Duty is the same pile of shit every year. Because
people still buy it.
Still buy it, but there's a market for it. But see, that's what happened with Battlefield. Them sales dropped. They said, hold on, we got to chill the fuck out.
Yep, they did. Yeah. And they went to the one guy team who made money, because if you look at Respawn Entertainment, they're the only company outside of, like, again, FIFA and Madden who's made them positive revenue. Star Wars, Titanfall, Apex Legends, Medal of Honor, which got a Oscar. The documentary they developed got an Oscar. Yeah, the game, because they did a documentary with World War II vets and survivors. I think it won an Oscar this year. So.
Yeah.
Well,
let's keep our fingers
you
crossed.
Called it. You said Geo and DoggDemon. They were going to go back and forth. You called it, man. You called it.
Hey, we're nerds. What can you say?
Are you sure this is a Soul Citizen episode?
No.
This is like a Captain Tip.
They were on it.
The rest of this episode are real.
They were on it.
I believe Paul.
baby.
But TF2, I see chat. TF2 is amazing. I love Titanfall. That will always be my favorite shooter of all time.
Cool.
MzHartz. We're finally getting to you.
Sorry, Hearts.
What has kept you committed to the development of Star Citizen?
I'm glad you repeated it because I forgot the question. Well, I have to admit, a big part of it is having friends that work with CIG. Because I know how hard they work and know what they're contributing to the game. So I can't be one of those people that sit back and go, they're not doing anything, because I see it in first person. So I know that they're still working on it, and I know they're doing things like feedback. That feedback from players right now is more important than ever, and that the feedback threads they open on Spectrum and that sort of things, they actually get read and things actually get done. So even when it doesn't seem as fast as we want, I still see progress. So that keeps me in there.
Okay.
Oh. All right, so Paul, welcome to another episode of the Captain Team. I mean, Soul Citizen. What has kept you committed to the development?
I was going to say, this is not a captain's table, because if you're on a captain's table, this whole thing's getting demonetized, and Twitch is going to shut this down in 2 seconds.
Drinking, does that count?
There we go.
They can't tell. You can't tell that's alcohol. That's
you gotta
just
give me a
juice.
beverage.
That's juice. MzHartz says juice.
Grape juice.
Juice. It's adult juice. I don't see an alcohol percentage. That's adult juice. Whatever. It's adult juice.
What's kept me committed? The community is a big part. Like, I will say that, like, the thing that has kept me going is the fact that I have met a lot of friends through this community, people who I genuinely think as friends, have met, at conventions, feel, who my wife has met, many people on this panel, like, I got drunk with these folks. That, and it helps that a lot of those members who were part of the community also ended up working for CIG, and I just know them. Like Jake Acapella recently got hired as a member of CIG's community team, and I think all of us know Jake. We've known him for years. We've known him when he was drinking stupid, way too much amounts of alcohol at events, so he shouldn't have been. And now he's, in charge of the roadmap. It's one of those weird feelings, I think, that also gives me hope about the game and keeps it, is that CIG, when they see it, they'll grab it. People like Bear, who is incredibly good at his job. People like Fall, people like Jake. There's, people like
Xylo.
Who was the guy who made those videos? He used to make the trailers. They hired him to do the trailers, and I forgot his name. I forgot. Well, y'all know.
What I'm talking about. I forgot his name. Not Yield 100.
No, the young English kid.
Yeah, I can't think of his name.
He made some pretty cool.
Yep.
Australian.
Yeah,
He was an Australian who moved to England. Yeah. Why am I not Fiendish Feather? But yeah, I know who you're talking about. Why am I blanking on his name? But the point being, like, there's just
there's a lot, like, for the amount of people I've seen who kind of, you know, have like, oh, this game, like, I've known so many people who don't play this game anymore or hate the game anymore. I've just seen too many people working on CIG, working on the game, and seeing a lot of progress made in the game that I still have that like, I can't quite give up on it. You know, every time it goes something, I feel like, man, I'm just getting so burned out about it. I'm more thinking like, why are you caring so much about what these little things?
Trellian.
Like looking at things more. Trellian. Trellian. Keep looking at the bigger picture, and, you know, keep focusing on, you know, what's fun. Are you enjoying it? Those sorts of things. Don't worry about what other people think. I think those are the big things that got through the community, the people I know who work at CIG, and just looking at the bigger picture and kind of self-critiquing. Like, am I having fun? Am I? Sure, cool. Why not? Move on, sort of thing.
Well, thank you. Yeah, the community is important too. I think all of us, for different reasons and for, you know, good reason. Like, the community is what got me into stars and everything. So yes, I feel you on that one. So SaltEMike, or I'm going to call you Twitch17. I'm not going to call you the other name.
Oh man, that's fine.
What kept me committed to the development?
Oh man, I feel like some people think I'm not, probably, but what really, and I really am, and what keeps me committed is, I mean, you guys play the game, right? And the moments that you have in the game occasionally, they don't happen often right now, right? But the moments that you have in the game occasionally, whether it's, you know, going down to an outpost on a moon or a planet or something like that, or a random, like recently I had this random pirate attack that just ended up being this like crazy fun emergent gameplay that happened. Honestly, that's what keeps me, because when those moments happen, you realize like what you're actually playing, right? Is unfortunately they don't happen often enough, but there's something there that keeps you going. And then the other thing is very similar to what a lot of the other people said, is the streaming community and that part of it has been really something that drives me forward. Is like, I don't know, you're not feeling good and you don't feel like streaming that day, and you see somebody type in chat like, oh man, I'm sad he's not here. Like, things like that keep me, because like this is the game I stream. I don't really stream many other games, so it's like people come for that stuff, and that's inspiring. But like in general for the development, it really is those moments in the game that go, I want more of this. And I think people see me get like upset sometimes, but I'm upset because I don't have more of those moments. You know, that's really all it is.
Thank you. Yeah, very good point.
I got a question, Mike. I'm sorry, real quick. When did the saltiness kick in? Because Twerk versus SaltEMike is like two different stream times. When I watch Twerk versus SaltEMike now, so when did the salt like kind of kick in?
I don't think I ever changed. I think like when it was like the redacted podcast or whatever, I was the one always yelling and angry about stuff, right? I always wanted more, so I got always called salty, right? I always wanted more. I always thought they could do more. Now that, like what MzHartz said, now that I'm a little more friendly with people that actually work on the game, you realize like these guys bust their butts, and they're doing what they can. You know what I mean? It's like they obviously want more too.
Always.
But it's not always possible for whatever reasons. But
didn't we have a joke stream team back in the game called Salt Miners?
That's still my stream team. Yeah, I think
yeah. I might still be on that too. I can't remember.
You probably are. I made it. We got whoever's on there, and I never touched it since. It's just
I'm probably still there.
To be fair, Mike, it seems like you never. When I watch your podcast, it seems like you're never really mad at the dev. It's always you're mad at like the top and the communication, which is mainly my two problems with that. It's never like every time I have a criticism of CIG, it's from the top and communication. That's what pisses me off. It's never the team. So if any of you guys at CIG are watching, you guys are the main reason why I still back. Sometimes I don't want it back because shit that the top does. I kind of put the credit card down with regret, but I know it's helping you guys and helping jobs out. But sometimes I really want to be on that EA stop buying your shit type shit with CIG. Sometimes they give me that mad sometimes. But okay, I'm done.
No, I just want to say oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, we all love Jake. Jake's job is amazing, but I think one of the more frustrating things about the game is like the roadmap's not really a roadmap, so people get confused as to like, all right, I want cargo hauling to be better. Well, what's it gonna take for cargo hauling to be better? Well, the way you have to find that out is to find like 4 random Spectrum posts and like 3 random YouTube videos that aren't like labeled or like where you could search to find that stuff. So it's like the roadmap should be like the communicator that's like, all right, well, we have cargo hauling now and we need XYZ thing to get to where you want to be, like an actual road. There's no road on the roadmap. So it's where people get confused, and I think that's like the communication problem that Geo brings up is where people get frustrated. I know that's where my frustration comes from.
I really thought when the roadmap first came out, I gave it, I said, okay, this first or second year, I know because of Chris, this roadmap, it was not going to hit none of this fucking deadlines. So I gave them like a 2-year breathing room. I always give breathing room for CIG because I already know Chris is very ambitious, thinking he can hit that shit. And sometimes some of the community, like, there's no way we hitting that shit at all if you've been around for a while. So I gave it like, 2 years breathing room. I said, maybe they'll get a clamp on it by then. Still, it's 2021 and shit is always getting removed, always getting moved. It's like, why aren't we learning what's going on with this roadmap? Like, why don't we figure out these timelines by now? It's been out for what, 5-6 years? The roadmap?
I think it's fine. Like they're moving it, but they're telling you why. And like this big move this time was like, hey, we just want to make sure it's like a little bit more polished. Like it's there. We showed you some of this stuff, but we just want it to be a little bit more polished. I don't know. I have less issues with it now than I ever did before. But I just know that's where people's frustrations come from. Like look at you, Gio. You're frustrated, right? Like that's where this stuff comes from.
To follow up on the point that Mike made earlier, like in other communities, the people in that community don't treat devs as human beings. In our community, we're big on, since we have a more personal connection with them, we humanize them and feel for them and empathize, and we want to help out the project. So yes, I agree wholeheartedly.
Can I say something real quick, fastcart, real quick? I don't want to cut off real quick before you get to Stoutman. One of the things I admire about all these people is, and again, there were other people we could have invited, but we couldn't have, all 15 or whoever peoples who came to mind. But the other thing that I think that's unique about all of you all is that you all actually have had time to meet the devs and to talk with the devs. And that doesn't happen with a lot of content creators. You guys know people by first name. Sometimes it's because you happen to live in Austin or because you went to a CitizenCon or a VerseCon. And that gives you a different insight from some of the players' perspectives too. And I'm sure in some ways that even grounds you even more because you say, here are these people that I got to sit at a bar and, buy a drink for and talk to, or at the CitizenCon, we spent some time off to the side talking. So I think that's really unique that you guys all have had that opportunity to have that level of, as content creators, to be able to have those conversations with folks. So go ahead, fastcart.
No problem. So Stoutman, what has kept you committed to the development?
I've always liked how CIG, because I live in Los Angeles, so I'm near the Santa Monica office with, Chris and a lot of people. So I've met a lot of them through. We would have bar citizens. I even organized a nice bar citizen, and most of them showed up. So that's fun. I spent a week at the CIG office once doing helping them out doing something back in 2016. They were shooting a promo video, and they just needed extra people there just to do a bunch of, just to get a bunch of these shots. Because, sometimes you're flying a ship, sometimes you're walking around. We were walking around in Grimhex when it was newer, maybe, and stuff. And they shot videos and all. So I saw how they worked, and I was there for a week straight. It was pretty cool. But we would sit there and we were doing like 10, 12-hour days, Disco Lando's taking us out to dinner at the end of the day at 10 or 11 o'clock at night, you know, and then we're going home at midnight and then wake up and get back up to 8 o'clock the next morning. We did that for a week. That was fun. It was fun as hell. But it was cool. I got to watch them run. They were running the server off of a PC. So I know that they've got basically the equivalent of a dedicated server that anybody could use, although they're making so many changes you wouldn't release it to public yet. But I've seen stuff like that. It's pretty cool. I've seen how they do a lot of the work. And you know, I've been in the office a few other times besides that. You know, I did the first office tour they did there. I was on the first one. That was pretty cool. That's all been over 3 years ago, so I can talk it. No more NDA.
Right.
You know. So, but yeah, you know, like I saw them flying around I think when I did the office tour, we just saw them flying the Starfarer before it was released. So they were showing us videos of like Starfarers, like 2 of them doing a dogfight back when you could dogfight a Starfarer.
Right.
Which I hated when they took that away. That was pretty cool. Yeah. Same thing with the Constellation. You used to be able to fight it, dogfight it. Now you can't.
Yeah,
you know,
you can now. Actually, one of the new updates, I learned some tricks. If you do some things with it, I've seen that thing slap people. It's hilarious.
I haven't been playing the game for a long time, so I don't know.
You would be happy.
I'm waiting to come back and learn, have a bunch of new stuff to learn, which will be pretty nice.
Nice. Yeah. That will be. Real quick question for everybody who's our panelists. How many of you guys actually have had a tour of any of the CIG studios? Has everybody been to one? Okay, so everybody has. Okay. Okay. Well, I'm referring to our special guests. No, I know this is our special guest because I was just kind of curious because once again, that's something else that kind of solidifies things too if they've had that experience as well. Okay, very cool.
Yeah,
I have an interesting story about that.
You got an interesting story, Paul?
Yeah, so I was on one of the few episodes of Citizens of the Stars. I was on one of the few episodes of Citizens of the Stars, and I was living in Austin at the time. And so when they asked me to kind of do because they were interviewing content creators, they said, I basically said, do you want me to come into the studio or do you want me to go over thing? And they're like, you want to come into the studio and do it? I'm like, yeah, sure. And so I came into the studio. It wasn't my first time going to the Austin studio. I think I've been there like 3 or 4 times. And I walked in and, you know, I knew everybody who was there. I think Fall was the one who greeted me and was like, hey, what's going on? And Tyler comes up and says, hey, we're gonna get set up, but you know, we need to go get some equipment. So he walked me back into one of the areas, and someone mentioned like, hey, doesn't he need to sign an NDA? And like both Tyler and Fall were like, he signed like 17 NDAs by this point. He's fine. like you really want to sign
the same thing?
Yeah. Like you're under like ETF NDA. You're under like 14 different tour NDAs. we got more on him than we need to. Don't worry about it. So it's like, God, okay.
To me that I'm on a permanent NDA. Like,
that's
what's been
pretty much.
Like, well, you also worked for them. You actually did work for them, where they paid you in lodging and food, I think. But you know,
yeah, we weren't paid, but it was we did some stuff.
Very cool. You were compensated. That's very cool. Okay.
Yeah, I got paid with the Caterpillar.
Oh,
that's not a bad payment. That's not
for a week's worth of work, and I spent $50 with gas. So you know, it was fun as hell. It was fun as hell.
That's a great experience.
Let me tell you guys, that is one of the main reasons that you may want to go to a Citizen Con is to try to get a studio tour. I don't know how it's going to be after COVID and all this other stuff, but they get a tour. But even just to talk to the devs, like devs will talk to you about some non-NDA stuff. If you're real cool with them, it'd be nice. Like I'm not gonna say what this dev told me or who dev told me.
They'll tell you NDA stuff when they're drunk.
Oh yeah.
That's why
they won't shut up when they're drunk.
I know how to feature way back then when he told me he told me at 2016, and I think they finally released it. Info about what was it? Maybe 2018, 2019. So I knew about it like years before. I just kept my mouth shut the whole time. But it's part of Squadron 42. That's the only hint I'll give you. But you'll definitely, when you go talk to them and see what they're working on and how long something that you think is minute sometimes takes months. Like I'm like, oh damn! So that little thing takes months to create. Like you would think, oh, you could just do this and that, be an armchair dev, and you actually go talk to the real devs, and they'll let your ass know. Like, nah, it takes a little longer than that. So it's a real experience, a learning experience. I loved it.
Yeah, mine was it was after 2016, and I went by the studio just to drop off some stuff because I had some ideas for things, and Tyler was there. And like you mentioned, I think, Paul, I got there, and Falast was working the front desk at the time. Fall was. And Tyler came out and said, hey, I just want to drop off some stuff and blah, blah, blah. He says, oh, okay, cool. I said, all right. I said, well, I got to head out in a little bit. He says, where are you going? I'm flying back to Chicago. He's like, well, you got some time? Want a tour? Now, I'm like, go down and tell the Uber guy, hey, hit the road, buddy. I'll get the next Uber. So I got the tour. But again, taking that tour and going inside was eye-opening. It was, just seeing how they worked, the structure of the place, the setup, everything. I was there for about maybe an hour and a half and getting to talk to people. And you're right. So I would say, just like, if you get the opportunity, Gio, you're right. If you go to one of the conventions, and especially if it's in LA, if it's in Austin, for those of you who are in the States, they usually do set up, they used to set up tours. But again, let's see what happens with COVID. What were you going to say, MzHartz?
Yeah, so be a little careful about expecting a tour around like a CitizenCon.
No, it's afterward. Yeah.
Because they are super busy.
They're swamped, yeah.
And there are thousands of people there literally that want a tour.
Sure.
So that's not always possible.
Yeah, and plus some people are out of town too.
But if you're visiting, yeah. But if you're visiting Austin or LA, you're in the area, definitely.
Yep.
For a tour. But around CitizenCons, when they're super busy,
That's
it
a
might
good
be
point.
hard to get.
Put in a customer service ticket asking for tour dates, because it could take months or a year to get in. So just send them a message, just say, put me on the list to let me know when it's available. That's how you do it. If it's CitizenCon time, forget it.
Yeah.
Unless you're doing a lot of special favors, you can get in.
Yeah.
If you know that it's CitizenCon, you're going to be there. Try to put in the ticket early. That way, you'll be. If they have a waiting list, you'll have a better chance of getting in. That's a good idea for putting in a ticket.
Pac-Man61, Dumax NA, Richard Sky 1723, Lion Tryon, and Baby Longans. Thank you guys so much for the follows. We appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we did. He popped out for a moment, so I'm sure he'll pop back in. And it looks like he's trying to come back in now, but I don't know if something's popping in there. We'll get him back in a couple seconds. Okay, DoggDemon, I think it's on you. That final question. This is the challenging question for them. That very last question is their challenging question of the night.
Okay, then. So, the final question is for you guys. What advice would you give future creators? I'm guessing when you say future creators, like for Star Citizen,
yes,
correct?
Content creators.
Okay,
yes,
content creators for Star Citizen. I will start with Gio, since we're doing it that direction.
Like, don't do it! No, just kidding.
Round 2, Gio, hit me with it. Let's go.
I would say don't put all your eggs in one basket. So I wouldn't even make it all Star Citizen content. Make sure you have maybe like 2 or 3 other things in rotation. I know, well, especially from a YouTube standpoint, I made the same mistake twice. I did like PS Vita only content at first, and then once that died off, I switched into Star Citizen and started making only Star Citizen content when I was doing like other things. Because you don't want to burn yourself out, especially if you love this game. That's one thing I did not want to do. That's why y'all be seeing me take a long ass break. I'm not going to burn myself out because I love this game way too much. I don't want to get pissed off and look at the content and mad at the progress. I want to enjoy it when it comes out, because you're going to burn yourself out before the game comes out. So just make sure you have a nice schedule. Maybe you have a 1 play night a week. I don't know how much you can take. Like, if I was coming in new right now, there's a lot of shit to do compared to when I came. I had to wait for increments of shit.
Right.
When you play now, this is like, you'll have so much content and, freshness to play with if you're just coming in as a new content creator. So I would enjoy that, explore the game, because you have more than any of OGs had. Make content on all that, because people love to see high energy people on here excited about the project. That's one thing I always want to keep with my content. I want it to be excited, because people always love when I talk about ships or this area, this, that, and the third, because I'm genuinely excited about the game, and I haven't been feeling that over the past couple months. So I don't want to put no dry ass content and fake it. I'm not that type of dude. So just don't put all your eggs in one basket. That's my thing, and make different content on top of Star Citizen.
It's good stuff. Good.
All right, MzHartz, to you.
I gotta agree with you. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. And patience, of course, especially when it comes to Star Citizen. Yeah, sure, they say it's going to be out in 2 months, but don't get mad when it's not. I've also done a lot of work behind the scenes with creators where I also do graphic design, and I've designed overlays and logos and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of content creators who put all of their faith in Star Citizen, and it's like, it's going to be the next big thing, and I'm going to be streaming it, and this is going to be my day job. And don't do that. Like, Star Citizen is awesome, and wanting to stream full-time is awesome, but streaming Star Citizen full-time may not be realistic.
Okay.
I hate to be the person that says that,
No,
but
keep it real. Keep it real. How can you say something so brave yet so controversial?
Keep it real. Okay.
But and of course, like I said, be patient, because don't put all of your money and your future on that roadmap, because we know how much it changes.
Okay. Thanks.
I'm gonna bet on Vegas. The odds are great in my favor, right?
All right, Paul, so you good to go? You got communication back online?
Yes, I managed to sacrifice the goat to the gods of Spectrum, and I managed to get the internet back on. Yeah,
understandable. Good.
Did your power just go out? Because my power went out earlier today.
No, it was just the internet. It just decided to cycle for some reason.
It's probably a squirrel.
Yeah.
So the question is, I was asking everyone, since this is the last one, what advice would you give to future content creators of Star Citizen, or just content creators in general? Let's just make it a bit easier there.
There's an old joke that was made by BB-88 back a couple of years ago about Star Citizen creators, which is, show me a Star Citizen creator and I'll show you a variety streamer. But I think the biggest thing I can tell about content creators is find a niche, find something that you like to do that no one else is doing, or like, for instance, you've got Mike with Answer the Call, which is basically a radio show. It's like it's a call-in radio show, which is no one else really doing that. We've got people like Noobify, who does his short brief videos, and like I do lore stuff. It's because no one was doing it at the time, really, or I didn't feel like there was enough of it out there, so I decided to start doing it myself and start kind of pushing on it. So finding something that you can kind of wedge yourself into, to kind of like something you like to do, but something that no one else is kind of working on with the community right now, like Mythematic with his RP or whatever, can help a lot. But as just echoing everyone else, find something else to do. Don't just do Star Citizen. Doing Star Citizen is fine. Building a community is fine. But as I'm sure everyone in this panel will tell you, it's important to diversify, reach out, take your community to other places, because sometimes you'll find people who may fit well with Star Citizen as well, who have no idea what Star Citizen is, and you end up becoming like a backdoor, getting them into the community just because you're like, hey, I'm gonna go play this game for a couple weeks. Oh, these are pretty cool people. Oh yeah, well maybe you like Star Citizen, so what game I normally play, and then that helps as well to not only grow the community but grow your community. So.
Just to cut in before you go to Mike, I just want to say there are some people who just did Star Citizen every day. Day in, day out, and I don't know how they did it, especially do that year-long drought before 3.0.
Hard.
I don't know how they did it. So
my buddy Snow Desiri calls it marrying the game, and I just can't do that either. I can't do that with any game. No matter how much I love that game, I just can't marry it. More props if people were able to do it and roll with it, but yeah, that's just no.
Right.
All right, SaltEMike, you are up, good sir.
I'm going to echo a little bit of what Paul said, and in the sense of when Paul, the most important thing that he said was, you can find your niche, but make sure I think he said like it. I would say make sure you love it. And it all depends on like advice that we're giving. Like, what are these future creators' goals, right? And that matters here. But so that's what makes it hard to answer the question. The thing that I would say that I think was the most important thing that when I started doing this, I just saw the instant change, and it's carried for the entire time that I've been streaming since and making YouTube videos, is focus 110% on your community and the people that are there for you, with you, for whatever reason they're there. That is the most important thing. It's not... Sorry, MzHartz, I might be costing your business a little bit. I'm sorry. But like your overlays, your webcam, your audio, your this, your that, your lights, your up, all this stuff is the...
Please refer back to episode 1 of Captain's Table.
Right? Like these are the least important things. It's
to that
and your
point,
interaction with the people that are there.
I had a lot of people that until they got the setup, until they got the logo, until they got the overlay, they weren't going to stream. And I would not suggest that. Start from basics. Start from scratch. You don't have to before you stream. When you get your logo, come to me. But you don't have to logo stream.
Yeah. Romdrian, thank you so much for the raid. We appreciate that. And all the folks who came over from Romdrian, thank you all so much. Go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry.
Sorry, piggyback off MzHartz real quick. She's spitting facts because like I was making videos before I even had a package, before I had a computer that could run it. So I would just use screenshots about the game, talking about this is YouTube, not Twitch. Like, so I would just have a slideshow about the ships I'm talking about because that's how much I loved them and how much I talked about the game, and was still building the community off that. So never let hardware or all that shit. Yeah, all that other fluff shit. I mean, it looks nice and professional on your channel. Just start off with that. Even when I was doing my PS Vita videos,
perfect before you start.
I used the suitcase handle to go over my bed, put the camera phone there, and just record gameplay. Just to get footage on my channel. So use what the fuck you have, and you're gonna know if you're passionate about it or not, and then build upon that. Go ahead, Mike.
And even to go on that. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh,
go
my
ahead.
bad.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, even to that point where I started off with playing my games with the SCP and all that stuff, and even doing Gmod roleplay. I had the Xbox 360 camera. Now, mind you, this is 2017 when I started, so I had the crappy Xbox 360 camera where I had the angle the light right, or it would dim down, and I passed my first 1,000 people still having that damn thing. So yeah, and you'll see people, unfortunately, not even to knock streamers, but you'll see people with these beautiful overlays and a nice background, but like 2 to 4 followers or people watching them. But then you see the guy who just his camera is from horrible audio and he's got hundreds. It's like, yeah, it's how you bring that individualism to it. So yeah.
It is something you can make money doing, but these like huge investments up front make no sense because there's no return on that. I don't know how all of you guys feel, but how I feel about these things, because I have a nice camera now, I have some overlays and things and some of these things, but that stuff's for me. That stuff's for me to make. Like, I wanted to step up the level of what I was making, so I felt good about it. I don't care what anybody else like. I don't think people see those things and go, wow, that deserves a sub because he got a new camera. It's those things that it makes you feel confident in the work that you're doing. Then you do better work or whatever, right? But up front, somebody said this. I don't know who it was, so I feel bad not giving them credit. It's about YouTube. The perfect YouTube video doesn't exist. You put it out, you see the problems with it, you learn from them, and you make a better one next time. And that's just how it is.
It's good.
I might go further on that and saying, as you get subscribers, as you get people giving money to your stream, that's when you take that money to improve the stream. You start from scratch.
Please
let your community support you.
Please, God, don't try to make money with streaming as your full-time job. Oh my God. You'll make first off, you can be
those goals, Paul. That can be your goal.
Listen, it could be, but there's also goals and there's also attainable goals. You got to keep it simple goals.
Liquid.
You got to be realistic about your goals.
I don't want to like dash people's dreams, but I know that Mike also you probably are the most like successful one out of all of us in terms of like managing to make money, doing content creation. And I can guarantee you that the money that Mike gets is probably is it even close to your what you make working, doing full-time job working? No,
not even a third.
It's you just don't make a lot of money doing this unless you are super mega awesome. And there are people I know who bless their heart, have worked their butts off and have managed to make it work. I don't know how they do it, but it saves you so much stress to not try to just quit your job and stream games.
I don't care.
Yeah,
it's the most freeing feeling. Like, I don't like my job. I would prefer to do this because this is awesome and I love it.
Yeah,
but I get to love it because it's not my job.
Exactly. It would be so different if this was my job.
Sethius, thank you so much for the another 20 subs.
Going
Sethius,
crazy,
we appreciate
dude.
that as always from Test Squadron, Best Squadron, and everybody say hi to Xylo. Thank you, Xylo, for the sub
Hi,
as
Zach.
well. Thank you.
Hello, what up, homie?
Thank you.
Can I just say one thing? I have to disagree with Paul. See, Paul, I'm going to start a hot tub stream. I'm not going to make millions, okay?
That's your fastcart.
Hey, fastcart.
You can do that.
Whoa.
Yeah,
If I invest in you, fastcart. If I invest in you, can I make that money? Like, I just want to invest, It's a basket, so I'm just going to invest a little bit. I'll give you
I'll buy
$200
the
down.
inflatable banana. You get the hot tub. We have a percentage.
We'll
of
write it
the
off as a
income,
tax, right? All right, so what'd you do?
We'll talk after the show. After the show.
God. And thank you, Seth, for the 100 bits as well. Thank you so much. Ramadrian, thank you again for the raid and the follow. Clail, thank you for the follow as well. Thank you guys so much.
But even with the panelists, even me being a bit of a smaller streamer compared to a lot of our panelists too, obviously with me, I get that question a lot, especially me being in it is even from, I'm saying from a small streamer standpoint too, dude, don't go in. So many people look at me going, like, how much money do you make? I want to do this as a job. I'm like, don't go into this. Really? Go in as a hobby. Do your research. Paul, that's how I ran to you. Paul, funny enough, like, I know the questions are going to them, was one of the first streamers. And you know what the first thing I saw? I saw the base. I saw Rexzilla. Paul was the next one I first saw. And he was doing this space helmet, and he had the helmet on, and he's like, all right, sub. He's going to get it. I loved it. I immediately was like, I like this guy. That's what I saw. I was like, what is this man doing? Like, and I was doing research. I'm thinking, okay, should I bother doing Star Citizen? And that's exactly what I saw. So I was like, yeah, I like this game. I like the community.
All right, back to the passion, baby. Passion.
Yeah, definitely.
Reminds me of that Doctor Who episode where they're in the library.
Yep. Stoutman, you get
my last bit of advice real quick is there's a couple of YouTubers that are really good. I don't know what they're called now. Alpha Gaming is one of them, and the other one is like Devin Nash. I would, if you want to get into content creation, these are two people that understand how it works. And if you ever wanted to do it and try and be successful or whatever you deem successful, those are two people that are just, they get it.
Very
fantastic for advice.
All right, Stoutman, are you ready to give your advice? Give us your wisdom.
Yeah, just a lot of what other people have said. Like when I started streaming, I was like, I'm Star Citizen only streamer, and I would say that every day. And for 5.5 months, I only streamed Star Citizen, and then I was getting burned out. I'm just getting tired of it. Now this is back in the day when, when you did the missions. And that was it. There wasn't a whole lot to do. So I ended up started streaming some other games once in a while, and that helped a lot. Plus, when you stream other games, you expand the type of people that watch your stream. So, and you're going to introduce them to Star Citizen because you'll switch back to that later on. They'll come back and see you, and you just, that's how you get a better community, is you get more diversification through networking with different people, which talk with other streamers, go on other people's streams and hang out and chit chat, get to know them. to know the streamers. You know, if go to TwitchCon if you can. We just, most of us here went to TwitchCon in 2016, which was the weekend before CitizenCon. That was like one of the best weeks of my life. That was so much fun meeting everybody.
Yeah.
You know, just nothing like that'll ever happen. That was 2016 was a great year for Star Citizen and Twitch. That's when it really started taking off, in my opinion. And we started getting some of the devs started coming on. Like I got Brian Chambers to come on my stream. I interviewed him at like midnight my time. He's in Germany. You know, I think he was the first. That was the first time any of the SIG employees had been on a stream. I kind of broke the ice with that. And then Brian mentioned me in one of the live streams, or the Reverse the Verse or something, and that broke that barrier where now they would talk about streamers, you know, it was nice to see CIG and the streamers coming together and supporting each other back and forth. And that still continues today as far as I can tell. So, you know, if you're going to start streaming something, just do what you're passionate about and, you know, play. You got to enjoy what you're doing when you're streaming, because if you're hating it, people aren't going to want to watch you. They don't. It's more that you're enjoying yourself and having a good time, and that's what people want to see that's more important than the game a lot of the time.
Yeah.
You know,
a good
your
point.
community wants to see you upset.
Yeah. We're all going to say the same thing, which is that. Yeah.
Unless that's your shtick and you just want to be angry the entire time, then by all means. But
I don't.
Just come on, you just start your stream. Just like,
MzHartz.
I hate you guys. I hate this. Thanks for the sub, but I hate you guys. All right, we're playing this game. Like, I'm pretty sure someone out there does that.
Cosplaying my stream?
No.
Oh, Lefty, thank you.
I mean, I do cosplay, but you know, I'll do a
I got
cosplay stream to you, Mike.
Yeah.
I got the perfect intro for Mike. I'm gonna have to tag him in it on Twitter. It's like it would be the perfect intro for his channel when he starts. I'm gonna tag you in it later.
All right.
Oh, Lefty, thank you for the sub, by the way. Oh, Lefty. I'm sorry, Paul.
The truth is the reason why he's called SaltEMike is because he's only salty because his entire chat, it makes him salty.
Yeah, that's kind of true. They just make fun of me the whole time.
The whole time.
MzHartz, you were going to say something. What were you going to say?
Well, Stoutman also brings up a good point. Watch other streamers. Interact with other streamers.
Yeah.
That you're not in this little. No one's going to support you if you don't support them. So definitely go watch and interact.
Yeah, and
it's more fun to play with other streamers too.
Yeah, definitely. Multi-streams are awesome.
And support doesn't just mean like go give them money. Just go hang out and talk with them.
It's not about money.
And this community is pretty tight and has been. And we've grown a lot since the early days, and we're a little bit bigger, so it's probably not as tight as it anymore. But like, all of us knew each other before this stream. Every single one of us has met all of each other before the stream at some point, sometimes physically. So, like we've been doing this for a very long time, and that's just because we reached out and talked with one another about these things. So.
Yeah. Done that video again.
Yeah,
the one thing I was gonna say, the one thing I got from Stoutman is that his advice is make sure you get a relative into CIG. That'll hook you.
That makes all the difference. Yeah.
I would like to piggyback and say one thing off all this, and I think everyone here can agree on this when I say this statement firmly, especially going to TwitchCon 2019 and seeing people. Do not clout chase. Don't do it. Don't hang with people because they'll get you famous. Don't agree with people's opinions
I didn't know what that
because
means.
you want to get big. Yeah, it means clout chasing a lot of times. It's cool if like you hang out with a person, they're really big and you guys become friends and they help you. That's cool. Clout chasing is, oh, I like this person. I want to get in the social group. And even if that person does something you hate or you're just not about, but you follow them to get famous, that is clout chasing. And I've seen so many
we feel it right
mutuals
away too.
destroy their social groups, their friend groups, just to try to get numbers, and it's just not worth it.
We could pick up on
everyone. You got to get out. Bye. Good out now.
I was gonna say, like, are you kidding me? That's the only reason why I hang out with fastcart so much is because he does trying to get those numbers.
I hang out with fastcart because he gets all the women. You know,
that's true.
You gotta stay around this guy. If you want some women, that's who you hang out with.
I've got a final question for all the panelists tonight. We talked about rough period. What was the struggle period when you guys were doing content for Star Citizen? There is another dynamic that you guys went through that people like us aren't going through as much, and that was the controversial years. the years between 2013-14 through 2016-17, where there was a lot of issues about the development of Star Citizens. Is it a scam? Will it ever come out? Are you wasting your time? Was there a period of time where you struggled with that, or were you a defender, or were you like kind of somewhere in the middle of the road? You know, how did you handle that period of time? Because I mean, the publications were saying negative things. There were people in the community saying certain things. Subvegio's best friend that he used to hang out with from Florida was always saying negative things. In touch with him? You know, I mean, there were all these people saying all types of stuff. How did you guys manage through that period of time? Because it had to be a lot to stay positive when, you know, when even the gaming industry was throwing a lot of negatives out there. So let me start with MzHartz, and I'm gonna close with Gio because I'm sure he'll have a lot to say about that. So let's go with MzHartz first.
That stopped?
I'm saying it's not as bad. It's not as bad. I mean, you guys had, we've never had anybody come in our chat and blast off. You guys would have people come into your chats. I mean,
we had one time.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. But I'm saying they dealt with it, I think, more than now. I think it has subsided way more than what it was back when you guys were screaming.
I don't think so, actually.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, because I think back in like 2015, 2016, I was mostly hanging around with Star Citizen people.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, maybe the occasional person would come into chat and that sort of thing. But now I hang out with more than Star Citizen people.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, there was another server I was on the other day that I was defending Star Citizen in. That they were saying it was a whole scam and they weren't delivering what they promised. And, you know, the typical stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that was 2 weeks ago.
Wow. Okay.
So I really don't think it's ended at all. And I think that's just a reputation that Star Citizen has gotten outside the community.
Okay.
But that happened 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And in the meantime, this person that was saying all this negative stuff, they hadn't played recently. And there was someone else who was also a backer in the chat, and that was the first thing I said is, have you played Star Citizen? And apparently it was years ago. I'm like, there's a free flag going on right now. Come try it out. And since then, they've started watching Star Citizen streams. So I don't think it's ended at all. And I think a lot of it is just we might be in our own little bubble. But there's definitely a lot of controversy still around Star Citizen.
And I'm not saying I don't think it ended.
Articles are still there too. They're still around. So people read something from 10 years ago saying it's a scam, and they don't look at the date. They think it still applies. So you're always going to have that. But I do think it used to be worse than it is now, probably.
Yeah. Okay.
I think there was. I think there was a time period when it was really bad, and that was where bless his heart, Chris Roberts just didn't know when to shut up.
Sure, there was a time when he actually would say dates.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Well, not just dates, but also when someone would come in and you know, someone would write a scathing article, or someone would say something nasty about him or about the, he would feel like he had to defend it. He'd clap back, and you know, we, you know, at the time we were like, yeah, but in you know, knowing enough PR the way I know, it's like sometimes you just shut the fuck up, just let them talk, because they will talk themselves out of everything, and you just keep moving. And CIG has learned some techniques since there that has helped a lot. But I think the real big thing is that the whole Star Citizen's a scam thing has changed, where the people who are more malicious towards streamers, and this is something that happens towards streamers, like we're fucking CIG. That happens all the time. Why isn't this in the game yet? It's like, what do you want me to like reach inside Chris's brain and pull his answer out? I don't know.
Yeah, Paul, you can do that. You're
yeah, Paul, you're a lore master. Tell me some more. Why is it not done yet?
Yeah, that's. I think it's changed to be more good and bad. I think you don't have so much of the blatant trolls coming in anymore, but you still have a lot of, I think, earnest negativity. People who are really upset about the game not being what it is now, or like what they want it to be, or going in a direction they don't want to see it in. Which is a little different. But I also think that we're in a situation where, 4 years ago, people say this game's never going to be made, it's a scam, and you couldn't say anything. Now someone will say that, and there's a free fly coming up, you can go, have you tried it? Here's a free fly. Go play it. And
no, I don't want to do that. I'm going to pass on that.
Exactly. Like there's enough in the game now where a lot of those early days where it was like it really was a gamble. We didn't know what it could even worked or not. I remember when 64-bit floating point precision was a huge deal that they freaking finished. When OCS was the killer app for Star Citizen, because they used to do this thing where you could drink at the bar and then load in Arena Commander, and it was so quickly that the effects where you were drunk would load into Arena Commander because of the mega map. That's what it was, because of the mega map update they did. And so like now it's less of this game's a scam and more of this game will never be finished, which is so that's why it's changed. Yeah, before it was this game is never coming out, and now it's this game is never going to be finished, and and I don't think it'll ever stop. This game will be 5, 10, 20, whenever the heat death of the universe, whenever this game fully comes out into its full features. Yeah.
If they mean Star Citizen, Star Citizen, that's partly true because it's an MMO. MMOs will never finish. They have to continually add content to it.
Yeah.
Mike, what were you going to say?
I was going to pretty much say what fastcart. Like
my bad.
Coming out. That's the whole point. You don't want it to have to finish, right? But I agree with Paul. I mean, every YouTube video I post, there's at least a couple comments about how the game's a scam, blah 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 blah. Like I just think that's, for me and my community, that's just a meme. It's like it's a joke at this point, right? But I don't know. I think my feelings about the whole thing is it doesn't matter what anybody outside of the game thinks. I always feel that we as members of the Star Citizen community feel like we have to protect it and that we have to make sure that it's successful. And like they're doing just fine with us, without us, it doesn't matter. And you look at a game like No Man's Sky, right? Horrible PR. Turn it around. The game is good. The game's going to be fine. These guys make a good game. The game's going to be fine. It doesn't matter what any of us say. So it really just comes down to that. And I don't really worry about it. And I just keep my focus on like, man, I just want I just want those wonderful experiences in the game. And that's all I focus on and pay attention to. And the fact that Xylo's doesn't really matter.
The fact that Xylo's in the chat, that actually reminded me of something, is that there's something that Xylo, if you talk with him in person, he will always tell you this, is that what Xylo likes to talk about when people say, well, what about all these other issues with the game? Xylo will say, we want the game to speak for itself. If you don't want to buy the game, don't buy the game. When you feel like the game's coming in, come join us. We're making a video game. I don't want to sell you the game. I want you to enjoy the game. I don't care if you come in now or if you come in 6 months. I just know that when we make a good game,
you're gonna like it at some point.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not even a concept of like just us. It's also just how CIG even approaches their own development in many ways. So
after Stout goes, I have a funny story that's pretty ironic. You guys will laugh on that subject, but go ahead, Stout.
Okay. Yeah, Stoutman, any feelings about the hater years, or is it?
I dealt with a lot of that. I mean, all the streamers did, 2016, 2017, that was pretty common. I don't think it's as common now, but there were times when it was really bad, especially usually for like the week or two after a few articles here and there came out. There was a few articles that were really big, and there was oh god, what the hell was that guy's name? That
Don't bring him up.
Don't bring him up. Don't bring him up. Don't bring it up. Don't bring it up. Don't.
Obviously, you know who I'm talking about. He caused a lot of that for a while, and he had some fanboys that would just go in and just harass the hell out of streamers. They did that to me one night, and it was funny because they were giving me like dollar donations, just tipping me like $1 through PayPal, and I'm like, thanks for the money, Mr. Whatever's fanboys. And they took a screenshot of me when they did that, and he tweeted me out, and I'm like, thanks. I replied on Twitter, I'm like, thanks a lot, man. He's trying to like put me down or something. I'm like, thank you, have a nice day. It was hilarious. You just got to, you can't get mad at them. You got to just say, okay, well, that's your opinion, I disagree, and just change the subject and move on. That's all you can do.
And that's how you know you made it.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go to Gio. I told you I was going to save him for last because even though
GriffinGaming had something.
He's going to finish after all these guys. So I'm going to let Dog come after Subvegio. So don't forget your story, Dog. Don't forget your story. Subvegio was probably the one person amongst the group of mentors here who went head to head with he who shall not be named. And so,
let's go, Gio.
Yeah, so Gio,
that smart one.
If you want to enlighten us to, because I know it literally got to a point where you were getting banned. He was writing about you.
Oh yeah,
all types.
I didn't know about that part. Oh
yeah, those guys, man. Him and the whole little group, they try to dox me. I got death messages. I got all kinds of stuff from those guys. I don't complain because Griffin, you know this where we're from. It's a rough state. So all this little keyboard Twitter fingers that never bothered me. But I always had fun with these dudes. Personally, it was like anytime I seen some drama, I just rise to occasion. I was waiting to come out because he's gonna come out with no facts.
You fool! I'm prepared.
No facts. And this guy, mind you, before he even got mad, he couldn't get hired in the CIG. He was promoting his game through the comments on Facebook. People don't even know that part of the story, but this game looks so shitty, like a Nintendo 64 game, and that made me give it too much praise. So.
That's an insult to Nintendo 64. That's an insult to Nintendo 64.
So the not smart refugee camp, anytime they would, come at us, those are the rough ones. It's not just, some of these articles that come out, and a lot of those articles that come out get fed because of this guy in his little refugee camp, his refugee reject camp. So when these articles come out, they go like, with inside sources and inside that, a lot of the time it came from these guys. So exposing these guys for CIG and letting them know kind of people they were dealing with, I always had fun with this. I would tear these articles down, them down, because a lot of devs would say, man, Jill, I'm so glad someone's defending us because we can't really say something. We work here, but you're like giving it to them because this is fucking up our job, and they're not even, dealing with facts. These guys, they just throw a hit piece out and they don't know there's people that work there and livelihood depending on that. I think the most recent one was Forbes. That's probably like the last thing I've seen, and it was something about Corona. They had to come back to office or not get paid or some shit.
That Kotaku article.
I was so happy when this is the first time I've seen a lot of CIG employees like fight back and retweet like, man, you motherfuckers, this is a straight up lie. They never did this. And multiple, I've probably seen like 10 of them come out and say that, and none of these articles even try to interview any of these people who work there or even use their quotes. They just want to stick to that damn narrative of why this game is taking so long, and they really get exposed as journalists. I thought journalists did research. These guys don't. So you let this guy who's a factory worker expose you and have more research than you. I always used to have fun with that because it's like an open book test that you decide not to even use the notes. You just say, the hell with it. I'm going to write what I want, and I'm going to write whatever narrative gets these clicks and views. So always breaking it down and exposing these guys. I always had fun during those times. It pretty much died down. After Cyberpunk took the crucifying, people are like, okay, maybe these games do take longer as they take us. Every time someone, it took 11 years, whatever, I'm like, what happened with Cyberpunk? They usually never have a response. A little longer. I'm like, so the same time that CIG is doing, right? You know, they get quiet and then they get to the real personal attacks because they can't think of nothing else. They can't explain that clusterfuck that happened from a good studio that took 10 years to build that game and still came out fucked up. So no one could explain that, and people know these next gen games are going to take longer to make, and so a lot of people, I haven't seen my way at least, coming at us like some of these articles and all that stuff used to. It definitely died down some with the Cyberpunk debacle, if you ask me.
Okay. Well, now you know why I put Geo. You know why I put Geo at the end now, because now I've got to put on Not for Children on my video when I post it on YouTube now. So go ahead, fast.
Have you ever seen Geo so reserved? Like, he only cursed, like, you know,
only about 10 times. Yeah, it wasn't so bad this time, right? Go ahead.
I have a Sailor Mouth like
I
Geo.
feel like I cursed more than Geo.
I think we all curse a fair amount in here. We're adults of this. So the ironic story. So and I agree. I don't think it's gotten any worse. I feel, especially with the rise of social media and a lot of indie and all these companies going Twitter more. I'm not going to name names. This is an ironic story. I got in a debacle with a friend because I usually, and Paul, you've seen the scene before. Everyone's seen it on Star Citizen. You see the drama, like, oh, PvP this. I don't even get in the middle of that. I laugh at it. So one friend posted something with Elite Dangerous. I like Elite Dangerous. I love the visuals, love all that stuff. So me and my friend jokingly said, hey, when you going to play Star Citizen? Hey, Star Citizen win. And we're mutuals with this guy. He gets heated, gets mad, comments going, oh, I do this every time, and this is why I don't comment, blah, blah, blah. So I message him on the side, and we get into kind of a scuffle. I'm like, dude, we were just joking. It's not that big a deal. And he goes like, oh, well, all you guys ever do is talk about this game and it's a scam and it's never going to come out and all this stuff. Said, all right, I'm going to leave it alone. He backs a game called I can't pronunciate it. It's Emulator or whatever. The guy used to work for Activision and Blizzard before he quit after the Activision's not so smart PR stunt with the whole Hong Kong thing. He left WoW Classic. He was one of the integral parts of WoW Classic and started making his own MMO. I literally saw him streaming the other day, and what game he was streaming? Star Citizen, and was having a ball with it. The same guy he's giving money, he's paying for this game, doing all this stuff, going, oh yeah, I got the special collector thing of this one. That guy is playing the game we all enjoy. And I rolled laughing. I'm just like, it's one of those moments I'm waking up, it's like mid-afternoon, I'm like, okay, and I'm just like, I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. There's no way. He's like, oh yeah, I'm having fun. This game is great. I've been keeping up with it a while. I'm like, I had to be nice and go, I just want to click it, send it to him and go, so scam, huh? But I didn't. I was like, I'm not going to be petty. I'm going to leave it alone. I was this close. I was like, not worth it. No, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
You were the better person. You're the better person. Good job.
You should have said, hey, you fell for the scam, and started laughing.
But anyway, that money used to him goes this game anyway.
Yeah.
What you should have just said is send him like a hooded robe figure, like a picture, like a robe that just says welcome to the cult. You know.
Well, you know, one of the things I will say is that over time, and again, you know, amongst all the frustrations and everything that's existed with the development of Star Citizen, I think that time is revealing, you know, what's really happening with the game. And I've seen the community and understand the community's frustrations, but I've also seen, I think Lefty, I think you said it in chat earlier, that a lot of times people will talk about the frustrations, but we also have to raise up the fact that there are a lot of successes and a lot of good times that have happened. And I would think one of the greatest things that's happened for all of you all, and I'm personally saying this to you guys, is that you all have had a lot more influence than maybe you think. And there are a lot of people, I think when we first started the chat, there were people who saw you guys and immediately called out your names. They called out Twerk by Twerk, you know, they said, hey, there's Stoutman, you know. I mean, and I don't want to in Geo, people said Geo, right? Geo getting money, people remember. So, you know, I want you guys to know, people remember your contribution to the community. And we want to say thank you from the Soul Citizens. We really do appreciate all the stuff that you guys did, because we wouldn't have this show if you guys weren't around. This is actually easy. As far as I'm concerned, what we're doing is way easier than what you guys did in those early days. Something that Mike said earlier too, which I think was very unique that you guys have benefited from, was the symbiotic relationship between CIG and you guys. You guys were benefiting them and vice versa. And that was very unique for a game. Those early days where developers could come on your shows and talk, you guys revealed a lot. And you guys, even with all the shows that CIG was putting out, people still tuned into you guys, sometimes more, because you guys were asking some of the quote unquote harder questions and having the harder conversations. And then of course, I always, every one of you that I've met, totally friendly. Stoutman, I met him when he was in LA. He's standing outside. Stoutman, I was actually like starstruck, dude, when I walked up to you, and he's looking at me like, who is this weird dude? You know, I used to talk to him every night when I was working, and it was so cool to meet him. Paul, you and I, we've seen each other at VerseCon before. I remember seeing MzHartz. Remember at the barbecue in 2016, getting to meet you. Mike, I've seen Mike. We were all standing outside that bar on the corner of Hollywood and Vine, you know. And believe me, it means something to see you guys. We're really, you know, and I'd personally just say thank you for all the work you guys did. Gio, you a Chicago boy like me. We still ain't hooked up, but we got to do it. But it's, you know, I love the fact that we had a chance to meet you guys in person, because you guys really did contribute to this community in a big way.
I think I got hugged from everybody in here, except for DoggDemon. I haven't met you yet.
I'll hug you.
I got hugged from everybody.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah,
You'll catch me at one.
Yeah, we're gonna definitely keep up with DoggDemon. Definitely.
I'm as extroverted as this in person and online, so this does not change. This energy does not change
the real
at
you.
all.
That's good, because every time when I meet someone, I'm like, I wonder if they act how they act. Everyone I met in here acts exactly how when I met them in person. There were some people I was disappointed with, streamers. They're like so excited and hype on stream when you meet them. They're like, oh, hi. I'm like, oh, damn, that's all a whole little show he puts on. Okay.
Most people are introverts. Remember, most streamers are introverts. That's a true thing. So I'm just one of those rare extroverts that I'm just kick the door and what's up? And you're like, oh, God.
and right back at you, Gio. You are legit. You are just like this. In
I may be more crazy in person. I call myself being chill on internet, so.
All right, real quick. Listen, I want to again thank all of you guys for coming. MzHartz, tell people where people can find you. See you, find you.
So, God, I've got a ton of lists.
Yeah.
You can find me just about anywhere as MzHartz, MzHartz. If I can also, for any female players or female identifying players out there, have a server called Ladies Night Out, where we get together in game and talk about things in and out of Star Citizen that is tailored to the women who may be playing the game. Can I link that in chat?
Yeah, send it to fastcart. Send it to fastcart. He'll push it out for you.
Get it?
Yeah.
Send it to fastcart. You guys push. He put out some information for everybody earlier, but if you guys have something special, send it to fastcart and he'll push it out. Mr. Shelley, where can people find you?
The Astropub, twitch.tv/The Astropub, youtube.com/The Astropub, The Astropub everywhere. I stream Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. And I do, I try to do frequent lore videos. I have almost 100 videos now of like Star Citizen lore. That's a lot of work.
But so like good. So good.
An entire probably about 40-minute series, about 4 or 5 videos. That's just for if you've decided to buy internet spaceships. Would you like to know why these ships exist and where you are and what's going on and who's this crazy lady who's screaming at me telling me to kill these Xenothreat people and everything else? I have this sort of quick primer for that. So if you want to know more about that, that's a good place to start as well. So
awesome sauce. Thank you very much. SaltEMike.
SaltEMike everywhere. That's one of the reasons changing the name. Because Twerk 17, you type that in, and God knows what comes up. So.
I never thought of it that way. That's why.
Yeah.
Oh
I
my
never
God.
That's not the reason why. The real reason why was I was at work and everybody started talking about Twitch. And I was too embarrassed to tell my friends from my real life what my Twitch name was. That was the kicker. It was it.
Wow.
That was the kicker.
Okay.
But yeah, SaltEMike everywhere, and yeah, mostly Star Citizen. I've been playing like other games like Eco and Conan lately.
I still remember Berserker 01, by the way.
Thank you. So I was going to say no one mentions Berserker, which is my original name.
That's right.
I had you.
Yes.
Berserker. What an edgelord.
I was going to say Mike and I guess everybody else in here. I've got to talk with DoggDemon because I know what DoggDemon also does in the industry, and I've been looking into it. And I think it'd be a cool thing to do Star Citizen community stuff like that. Similar to
use my voice.
Very cool. Very cool.
And MzHartz, I have to talk to you.
Everybody's going to be networking after this.
Yeah,
exactly.
Conti 153, thank you for the Prime sub. We appreciate that. Stoutman, where can people find you?
Well, I just use Stoutman everywhere I go. So if you see a Stoutman, it's probably me. There's one or two other fakes on this planet, but I'll hunt them down with one of my ships eventually and fix that.
Speaking of stouts, that's what I'm drinking right now. Good old stout, baby.
There you go. Give me my beer. Give me my beer.
Subvegio, where can people find you?
Y'all can find me everywhere. Subvegio. I'm even on TikTok, baby, because I like that shit.
Lord.
I'm not gonna lie. I hated on TikTok at first, but once I got it, I couldn't even hate on them. I said, okay,
no,
I'm
you're
glad I
built
gave it
for
a
it.
chance. Geo, TikTok is so much troll shit. Like, yeah, Subvegio everywhere. I used to be Geo Get Money formerly. Changed it. Subvegio.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm hoping on YouTube. I'm sorry, YouTube. I'm probably gonna be on there more. I'm gonna have different content to just Star Citizen. And y'all even got this new camera I haven't even used yet.
Woo!
A7S3 gonna get this ugly mug on this pretty camera pretty soon. So I gotta stick to what I was saying earlier. I don't have none of my stuff ready, my trailers, and I just told everyone just freaking start. Just do it. So I'm gonna have to start making content before I have my trailer and my channel stuff out and just get it kicked off. But I'll be back soon and hopefully on Twitch. I miss streaming more than actually YouTube.
Yeah. Well, we miss seeing you out there, bro. So make sure you get back out there.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, Gio, I cannot wait to follow you on. I cannot wait to follow you on OnlyFans.
Oh, the hot tub streams are coming, baby.
Dang, bro. fastcart just went straight for it.
Hey, man. I'm going to be in the tub with my joysticks, and with the LTI. I'm going to be LTI in the tub,
Did you say that on purpose? The hot tub with your joystick?
Oh, Lord.
Someone caught it.
Yeah.
Someone caught it, and then I'm going to take donations from the Cum Rocket coin, Bitcoin, whatever that is, the crypto. So have all that ready, you know what I'm saying? So,
dude, this is gonna be the most cursed yet blessed stream ever.
Oh God. DoggDemon, where can people find you?
People can find me posting about fun memey things on Twitter under DoggDemon like it's spelled, and I'm also looking for verse work. Hi, I'm gonna plug that in because I am. Trying to do that as a full-time career besides streaming. And as DoggDemon on Twitch as well too, playing a variety of games and yelling at people and yelling profanities. So yeah.
Okay, awesome. And thank you, DoggDemon, for coming to be a co-host with us. We appreciate that.
Well, thank you for letting me host. I still was honored. It's like, oh man, that was fun to Paul. And then you messaged me. I was like, all right, cool. Yeah.
We appreciate it. Fastcart, where can people find you, my friend?
You probably find me on twitter.com/fast_cart. I'll be on MzHartz 82 on Tuesday on the base radio on twitch.tv. You can find me on we did a recent episode of Yacht Club on Wednesday. That should be on the VOD or Twitch or YouTube, I believe. And also on Wednesday, find me and MzHartz on Table of Horrors with Silver Battery.
Very cool, very cool. And I'm GriffinGamingRPG, and thank you guys so much for spending the evening with us. Thank you for all the subs, all the follows. We are going to do a raid. We are actually going to raid. We did Star Jump Ender last week. We're going to do Star Jump Grim this week. So you guys give a shout. Y'all know who Star Jump is. He put out this great Aegis video. Y'all give him some love, some shouts, some follows. He's only got 1 or 2 people in his view, I think. So give some love there.
This was a quick show, man. It seemed like we just started.
It feels like it, right? Rocco Robbie, thank you for the follow.
Gio, we don't do the 4-hour shows anymore. We're all too old.
I'm too old. I'm ready to go. I'm with Gio. Debate me right now, bro.
All right.
Any game you like trash. Any game you like trash.
We're out of here. Thank you all as always. Peace, love, and soul. Stay safe, and we'll see you guys soon. Take care.
Have a good night.
Bye, guys.
Ooh.